Holy shit, it's July. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and we are live. I know I look a little bit different, but you know what? I'm going to have a lot of fun this month of July, and I hope all of y'all that are tuned into this show are ready to have one wild month because another month, man, we got Raiders preseason football. Kind of wild to even think about that. I do got a fun show on tap for each and every one of y'all that decided to tune in today. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Antonio Pierce, Top Telesco, they said, hey, Mitch, hey, Chuggs, I need you to put together a little bit of a plan for our month of July here, leading up before training camp. So what I did today is I was able to put together a 5-step plan that I want the Raiders to be able to do before we get underway for rookie training camp, which is on July 21st. The veterans, they report on July 23rd. Then I'm going to put a show together around captain candidates. Now, I do think that a lot of the captains that we had last season are going to be returning, but Josh Jacobs no longer here anymore. Jimmy Garoppolo no longer here anymore. So we're also going to be looking at some of these new captain candidates that maybe AP and Telesco could end up naming, and as well with some of these Raiders players. And then it's Monday, so let's go to a mailbag here. So already I want to see some hashtag Raiders, some super chats flowing in here on today's show. Let me know down below the number one thing that the Raiders need to do before July with training camp right around the corner. So today's July 1st, training camp for the rookies July 21st. What needs to happen in the next 3 weeks? Like, number one thing, is it going out and signing a free agent? Name who that free agent is. Is it that the Raiders need to go trade away this player? They need to trade for that player. Is it, they need to extend Robert Spillane or a player of that nature? They need to cut XYZ guy. I want to know number one thing that the Raiders need to do before training camp gets underway. Let me know down below, because already I see Rebel Montana, what up Yoda Jenkins, Robert Jansen. I do want to give a special shout out to last month's MVP, Lord Cameron Abbott, which, by the way, newest member of Mount Raidermore. So shout out to LCA. Had the opportunity to talk to him and some other Mount Raidermore people on Friday, and that was an interesting phone call. There's no doubt about it. But I also want to give a shout out to LCA because he so far is the only person in the year 2024 who has been an MVP of a month more than once. He was the MVP in February, and now he's the MVP yet again in June. But since we do have a brand new month of July, the MVP race, it is open here yet again. What's up, Borelli? He said, man, it's a sad day. I'm pretty sure it's a sad day. If I had to guess, John, and this is me just knowing you, big Warriors fan. Klay Thompson going to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, we are live on a bunch of other chat sports channels, so if you hear anything going on around me, we are live for NBA free agency. It's probably like the only thing that Chuggs and I don't really cover here all that much. Chuggs does some NBA stuff here and there. I don't do anything. I really just do Raiders content at this point. But how many Warriors fans are in the chat? Let me know down below, because I see Raphael, CJ, CSR, Billy Davis. What's up, my brother?
Part of me feels like Klay could be the missing piece.
Okay.
But part of me feels like it's going to be one of those things where when we look back in 10, 15 years, it's like, wow, Klay played for the Mavs? It's going to be like one of those where it's like,
unless they win a title.
Where it's like, Randy Moss played for the Titans?
I mean, I legitimately think unless the Mavs win a title, people are going to 100% forget about Klay.
Ed Reed played for the Texans?
These things that are happening. Yes, these are all
things that happen. It's going to be one of those weird things where we're like, I can't believe he played for them. I can't remember. It's going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to be awful, like he's actually washed, or he's going to push them to the next level, and they're going to compete for another Western Conference Finals. I
mean, it's an interesting addition, right? Because the Mavs couldn't make anything from outside, and especially in the finals. I thought, P.J. Washington did more than enough for them during the playoffs, but then when it came to the actual finals, they just couldn't match up with Boston.
No, not at all.
So I think Klay is one of those guys where they're like, all right, hopefully he gives us some playoff experience, can match up with Boston a little bit well, and just gives you another perimeter shooter to be able to add to Kyrie and Luka. We'll see how it goes. I do find it funny how hyped up our Mavs channel is, and then how everybody else is like, it's a good move, but I do feel like it's like
our Mavs
it's
guys,
a much bigger name value than what he's actually going to bring.
Our
to the
Mavs
table.
guys said it is the biggest free agency move in Mavs history.
That's insane. I don't know that much about basketball, but that seems insane to me. He's like 34.
That's like us saying Michael Gallup is the largest Raiders free agency signing in history.
I don't know about that. that one might be a little bit crazy.
A little bit of a stretch.
I think it's a big name. Obviously, he's past his prime, and we'll see what he's able to add to the Dallas Mavericks here. But we are doing a mailbag on today's show. It'll probably be the final thing that we end up doing in terms of the segment. Again, we're going to have a special segment presented by Save a Warrior. Huge shout-out to Cameron. Huge shout-out to OC. Huge shout-out to our guy, Gunny. We've been doing a lot of really, really cool things on this show, and I still want to be able to give back to the nation as much as I possibly can. So please, if you want to see your questions up here on screen, you have to use hashtag Raiders. It's the only way I can put you up. Or if you want to skip the line, the other easy way to do it is to super chat. First one's coming in from Caleb. I'll never be on Mount Raider more, but I'll always be here. I mean, you don't know that. I think the more and more life goes on, things happen, things change. I was talking to Mount Raider more literally yesterday about, or not yesterday, Friday, excuse me, just like how we can get, more people that don't always have the ability to send in the big donation, but people that are always here, and it's kind of why, we've created the Silver and Black Hills, and we've created all these other things that we talk about on the show. I'll say this, though. Never say never. But at the same time, the fact that people are always here watching the show, and I'll always say this, like, if you're somebody that's like, I can't super chat, that's okay. There's going to be times in your life where you're going to be able to. There's going to be times where you're not able to. I'm not saying even in a time that you are able to, you have to do it. When you do it, think of it as like a tip, paying your bar tab, wipe them feet, right? That's what Graf always says. But, like, the other way that you can always help this show grow, watch the show, right? Like, that's always the number one most important. You can hit that subscribe button. You can click that like button. When we ask you a question, commenting down below, I mean, it helps out to see what you guys say. It also helps out Jeremy and I to understand what type of content that you guys want coming up here more. But anytime we ask you to do something, if you do it, believe it or not, it does go a very, very long way. Patrick B. Mitch, looking like a young Ron Jeremy. I like the mustache look. I feel like I'm able to pull it off. Not everybody can. But Alex also has been asking me for a very, very long time to do it. You guys can't really tell, but maybe you can. I don't know. I do have a bit of a beard tan line, and I was like, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it now.
Yeah, you look like if I take down one of my buttons, you'll just give me a warning.
G-Dubs, why haven't we signed Xavier Howard yet? I think that there's multiple reasons behind this. One, I'll say, I don't even know if Xavier Howard wants to sign anywhere yet. Like, typically a player like him, think of it as like the Marcus Peters deals last season. The closer we got to training camp is when he decided to sign that contract. Like, this is these next 2 weeks, and then the previous probably week, 2 weeks was when an NFL guy gets all his off time as humanly possible. I'll also admit there was some of that weird stories around Xavier Howard maybe like 2 weeks ago, which that may be kind of, if I'm Xavier Howard, I'm trying to let that die down before I sign a brand new deal. But think of it as more as it's just a downtime right now. And if you're an NFL veteran like X, you're like, somebody's going to give me a contract sooner rather than later. I'm going to take advantage of my downtime. What up, Jake? Who won the NECC neck decorating contest? It was a tie. I was like, what? Is this a company that I don't know about? Is this some NBA thing? Now I get it. What's up, Venthrak? Sending in the good vibe. Shout out to Venthrak, a member of the Silver and Black Hills, and probably the next person, if I had to take a guess, that gets into Mount Raider more. So for those of you that do not know, I wanted to start doing more challenges in the month of July. That way it's not just Jeremy and I all the time just doing like, crazy shenanigans with like the alcohol. If I sound a little bit weird today, I'll be honest, I am a little bit sick. Alex was sick over the weekend, so I'm kind of recovering from that. But tomorrow, live here on the Raiders Report, I have been begging Jeremy for probably 2 years to do the competitive, like, lemonade drinking contest at the Nathan's, like, hot dog eating competition. So every year there's a hot dog eating competition, but there's also a gallon of lemonade challenge. And I, for the longest time, have wanted Jeremy to do this. Well, tomorrow here on the Raiders Report, we are going to do a gallon of lemonade challenge on the show, which from what we've looked at, it's about 3.5 boots. 3.5 boots of lemonade. If there's any other crazy challenges that you want Chuggs and I to do that aren't like grossly spicy or, if it's just like lemonade. Somebody asked me to do the gallon challenge of milk. Probably won't ever do that one. But we just wanted to be able to do, more and more stuff here while we're doing the show. But tomorrow, me against Jeremy. My question is, who you got? Now, you can definitely chug faster than anybody I've ever seen for one boot. Though, there's a part of me that thinks if it's 3.5 boots, I might be able to get you.
Yeah.
Like you're going to dust me on the first two, and I know that. But I think that third and final one, through the course of the show, I think I have a chance to get you.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's tough. I told Mitch, speed, I think, is my game. It's kind of like the Olympics.
Okay.
The guy who runs the 100-meter is almost never in the 800-meter race.
Correct.
Because after 100 meters,
done.
He's cooked.
Yeah. You're like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Of chugging.
And you're like that, skinny 5'5" guy who's just like, keeping the same pace on a, 1600.
What's the country that's always got the long distance runners? There's like a high altitude there.
Peru.
That's not it. Maybe it is. That doesn't seem right. What country is it? There's like always, I feel like a country that always has like the long Kenya. Yeah, Patrick B. Kenya. Like if you're from Kenya, you're just born running out the womb. Like you're just going, man. What's up, Jeremy? Chuggs, thanks for the love this weekend for my grandson. What you do?
So he actually messaged me on Instagram. His grandson, which actually shout out to Jeremy Cole, because at first I misread it and I thought it was his son.
Okay.
And he sent me a picture and I said, "Congrats on the new kid, Raider dad." And he goes, "Actually, Raider grandpa."
Oh, wow.
But grandson born this weekend from Jeremy Cole, Milo Cole, the newest member of Raider Nation.
I love that name, Milo.
The newest member of Raider Nation.
All right, Jeremy.
And the newest bodyguard in training.
I like Milo Cole. I like that name a lot. There's going to be, you got to get a picture of him like on the corner of your roof someday. Just like hanging off with his legs. You know what I mean?
No.
That's like J. Cole. No? I thought maybe you'd get it. I don't know. I'm not in the music game. Obviously, I'm not in the music game.
Spam Milo in the chat, though. Spam Milo in the chat for the newest member of Raider Nation, baby Milo, born this weekend.
The newest member. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. I got another super chat coming in from Black Orchid Wellness.
We actually have one right before.
Oh, and another one from Arctic. That's on me. How do you feel about the Raiders being 79 in Madden? I mean, here's the real talk. I know Jeremy and I do the Madden Sims in terms of how much do I actually know about the Madden game. Nothing really at all. I'm not overly surprised because I do think, again, you got to have a lot of name value to be good in Madden, where name value carries king. And the fact that the Raiders don't have a quarterback, that is what it is to me. But then there's like that other double-sided coin of when you look at how slept on the Raiders are from a media perspective, how they are projected to win 6.5 games. A 6.5 team probably is a 79 rating in Madden. Chuggs is saying, yeah, that's pretty fair. What up, Black Orchid? Got Chuggs, but that sugar stomach ache, yikes. So we're going to do... What?
I was going to say good news on this, though.
Yes.
We're not doing actual lemonade, or else I think me or Mitch might go into cardiac arrest from the amount of sugar that we would be drinking from real lemonade.
So Panda Sups makes a pink lemonade BCA, and I want to be able to show you guys more of the products that sponsor this show, and also I'm trying to be healthier. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to use the pink lemonade BCA from Panda Sups. We'll be able to mix that in per boot, and then that way you guys can see what the product looks like. We'll give you an honest review on how it tastes, sweetness, all that type of stuff. And then the other level of this would be, we're going to have to chug. Oh, my goodness. David
Zon Bang!
Do you know why this happened? I can tell you why.
No clue.
I saw a message from Zon today, okay? Not to me, but to a group chat that said, I got out of work early, and I'm going to guess that was probably 3.5 hours ago, Zon. And all it said was, who's ready to party? Zon, am I wrong or am I right in that statement of why this happened? Or you're just like, hey, it's July 1st. I'm trying to get after it. I'm trying to get a little bit weird. Well, one of the things that I was going to say this month is this. Last month, for the first time in, this is a true story, 26 months, the Raiders Report was the channel that came in second place in Super Chats. Our Steelers channel actually beat us in the month of June in Super Chats. It's the first time the Raiders Report has been taken down since 26 months. 26 months. So this month, I'm going to say this. Any single time we get 5 bangs on a stream, not one person has to hit the gong. At any point, we get 5 bangs on a stream. Shit show. Oh, wait, this is a new one.
David
Ozone
Bang!
Yep. All right. All right, Zon. So I'm 100% accurate in my take then. I'm guessing. Based off the fact, the fact that you always said, well, show you right. Is that right? Show you right? I don't know. Zon, cheers to you, man.
It's a Zonism.
It's going to be one of those things. What's up, y'all? I took a vacation, and y'all let this bullshit happen. Put your big boy panties on for David Zon Bang! All right, so that basically means we're 2 bangs away, but Patrick B. Bang! Well, 1 bang away, and then it's a shit show.
Raiders! So this is where the party is.
All right, so if you don't know what I mean by a shit show here on the Raiders Report, we usually keep all the drinking, the shenanigans, the craziness to Thursday, Friday during, when we do our Madden Sims. But I was so ticked off, and not at you guys, and I don't want you all to be like, oh, Mitch is mad that we weren't first in Super Chats. That's completely the furthest from the truth. It's just, I'm a competitive person. And we subscribe to the idea here, if you're not first, you're last here at the Raiders Report and at Chat Sports. And I take a lot of pride in being that number 1 channel. And the fact that we got bumped down to number 2 in the power rankings, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to reclaim our throne here at Chat Sports as the number 1 Super Chat channel, and I want my crown back, I want the belt back, and I want to be number 1 in those power rankings. So if one more person bangs on this show, as far as I'm concerned, today's going to turn into an absolute, and I mean absolute shit show. No, I'm definitely not mad. I'm just always blown away that some people do what they do on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and I'm like, how can I possibly say thank you to all the people that do the crazy shit that they do? Smash it, Mitch, Patrick B. Bang! All right. Hey, that means this. If Luis Rodriguez, if Nico Laz, and if OC Raiders in the building, deals are deals, man. Deals are deals. Jerry Deadly Bang! But wait! Blaine Craig Bang!
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is getting out of hand. It's fun to stay at the LCA
Bang!
This is unbelievable. David! I'm with Yoda Jenkins. What the F is going on?
Bang!
To hell with Mitch's lever. Let's be engaged? Is that what that is? Let's be engaged. All right, so I got to tally up some of the bangs here. Just give me a quick second. LCA, y'all are wild. I got LCA, the newest member of Mount Raidermore, got in the action here. Shout out to Jerry, who got in on the action here. Another one from Jerry. Bang! All right, guys. I don't know what you want me to do. Coming, Raider X. Bang! What happened? I thought we just kicked out something. Coming. You know what? It looks like we're not losing this month. And I'll tell you this. I love the energy. I love everything that you guys are bringing here. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting start to the show. Hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. Chuggs, I got to go get some beers. I gotta go get some. I'm not gonna lie, you guys caught me off guard here. Yeah, give me a few Happy Dads, a Murbanga. That'll be good. That'll be a good start. Taino shouting out to Zon. Shout out to King Zon, man. DeMarcus, Mitch and Chuggs about to be in the Soul Stone. What the heck is that? Do you know that reference? What is the Soul Stone? Soul Stone. Soul Stone, hang on, is the Soul Stone was one of the 6 Infinity Stones. I guess, yep. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. Blaine, you're not wrong that I asked for it, but there's so many times where I say something and the expectation is here, and then y'all go above and beyond. Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. Junior, bang! All aboard! Oh, I actually really like that name. All aboard, Raiders. What is up? Blaine Craig, what is up with you? You know what? Another one. Coming! Raider! Bang! I mean, there's no way, man. Losing? Nope. Not the Raider way. Just win, baby. Can we get some JWBs down below? Raiders Report. Shout out to the nation. I want to make sure that right now our July bang counter is Zon's at 4, Patrick, Jerry, Common at 2, LCA's at 1, Blaine Craig's at 1. I mean, I guess there's only one way to get over a cold, and that's to get some Happy Dads in you. I don't even know, man. Caleb Tarr, you're not wrong. This was a lot more than I expected. Patrick B, we're gonna get a boot. Yeah, we're gonna get a boot. So I do have 3 segments on tap for all of y'all. Just so you know, we do have a mailbag. That'll be a little bit later on in today's show. I have my captain candidates, and then we're gonna be coming up with a stream around my July plan for the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, who else is joining this bang party? At this point, I don't even know what to expect. Chuggs left, so I can't put your thing on screen here, Borelli. But you know what? Joan Borelli! Bang! I'm going to throw out my hip. I'm going to throw out my freaking hip here, guys. John Borelli with the bang. Zahn wants multiple boots. All right, Zahn. Whatever you want, man. David Zahn, I got to go get the gong. All right, you know what? This seems like this is a real one show, and I am going to totally change up what we are about to. I'm going to go grab some boots. Zahn wants a boot. I'm going to go get him a boot. Okay. Sounds good. Hey, Blaine Craig, you're watching the show, right? Zahn's already lit today from Borelli. That's correct. Yep. Zahn got off of work early today. I saw a message. It was like 4 hours ago. And he's like, let's get turned up. So I said, all right, let's get a little bit wild here on the Raiders Report. If you guys are down, shit, I'm down to get down too. Zalesbo, the nation is always number one. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to get a little bit crazy here on the Raiders Report. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys very, very much, man. I really do. I really do. Chuggs is going to go get the boot right now. Yep. What flavor is it? All right. I was going to say, because I've been drinking so much grape that I'm kind of sick of the grape. Yeah. David Zahn! Let's go! Dude. Who? Marsh? Hey, Marshall! Oh! Yoda Jenkins! Bang! All right. I don't even know at this point what I'm at. So here's what's going to happen. I am, to the best of my ability, going to send back this boot. And then, immediately fill up another one. And I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to do 2 boots in 60 seconds. I'm going to try to do 2 boots in 60 seconds.
Did you already John Borelli bang?
I've already John Borelli banged. Just like that.
Borelli! Bang!
Just like that, man. 60 seconds, Punisher. Give me a Y for yes and for no. 2 boots, 60 seconds. Chuggs already got me one. I got 3 happy dads over here. I'm going to slam both of them back. It's freaking Monday, man.
It's freaking Monday.
You
know what they say.
We're not losing to the Steelers talk this month. I hope you all know.
F you, Lynn.
All right, I'm getting nothing but yeses, Chuggs. 2 boots in 60 seconds. I'm getting nothing but yeses.
Do it for Lynn.
That means if it happens tomorrow, if this shenanigans happens tomorrow, that means I got to try to do 2 boots tomorrow in 50 seconds. And then if it happens on Friday, 2 boots in 40 seconds. And then if it happens the next Monday, 2 boots in 30 seconds.
Wow.
And so on and so forth. All right, here we go. Chuggs, give me the time. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I need y'all to spam David Zahn down below for getting this shit show started. Zahn's been partying for a while. I watched David projectile vomit on Friday. True story. Tri-Van the entire time was like the dad where he's like, these guys, man. Mitch, I don't know what happened. Tri-Van is the ultimate dad. Tri-Van's the ultimate dad. Also, we're going to do a 50-50 raffle today was the idea of $10 Venmo for a chance to win a little bit of money. But you know what? I think sometimes the real ones, they deserve a lot more. So every person that sends in a $10 Venmo, you can thank David Zahn for this. You are going to be entered in also for our Zoom call on Wednesday. If we get 100 people in the Zoom call, I don't give a shit. Like, Zahn, he's there all the time. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Zahn, if that time works for you, you let me know because I want you to be there. Every $10 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. You're gonna be in. You're gonna be in. All right, Chuggs.
You ready?
Honestly, no. All right. Let me just open these.
Here we go. Here, Mitch.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say stay to that side of the.
This side.
Yeah, so we can do a little full double. How do you like this?
I gotta do 2 boots? 2 boots. All right.
Here we go.
Man.
This
is going to be
once
something.
your lips touch the glass, I'll start the timer.
All right.
Zahn, 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 Zahn. Here we go. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug! Oh, wow. Somebody tempted Mitch a little bit. 35 seconds on the clock. He's doing a pour. He's pouring it back up. Mitch, we got somebody poking at Raider Nation, poking the bear.
I'm going to have to hurry.
24. Actually,
I didn't calculate how long it's going to take me to pour these.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to stop it for the pour. I think that's fair. We had it at, you had it at 31 seconds.
Yeah, I got to let this calm down a little bit. All right, ready? Let's go.
Here we go. And Zahn, the answer is 500. We're 500 away from the next one. Let's go, Mitch. Let's go, Mitch. Come on! Come on! Woo! He did it. He did it, folks. Oh, wait. Where did he go? Where did he go? Here he goes. James Yoder, most famously known as our boss, second most famously known as Dwayne Wade stole his charger once. Mitch, heard that Raiders Report got demoted to the JV studios, which is true. We're not in Studio A right now. We're in Studio D, which stands for, damn, we got demoted to a studio. At Chat Sports, since it's not the top earning show anymore. What's up with that? Raider Nation fading? Confirm? That's our boss poking at the bear a little bit. He had some jokes for Raider Nation this past week. He said, wow, I mean, I would have never thought that Raider Nation would lose a Super Chat battle. That's what he told us this week. Maybe that's why Mitch is going a little ham today. Maybe that's why he's going a little crazy today. Because when you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And Mitch has the horns out right now. He's serious. He's in the A game. I mean, he's ready to fight. He's ready to go. I've never seen Mitch this determined before. Mitch is more determined than I've ever seen it. It's the middle of July. Mitch is cannot confirm nor deny that, Mr. Akon. Mitch left the room. So I'm not sure what he's doing. But as we said earlier, if you want to get in the Venmo call for this week, $10 entry for our duck race, plus you get in on the Zoom call this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Zahn said, I'm here tonight. Don't talk. Hey, our boss is talking that shit. What can I say? He's talking that talk. If you want to get in on the Zoom call and on the duck race with a chance to win some money today, $10 Venmo to @MitchellRenz365. Go check it out today. Rebel said he puked. Rebel, you know what it is after a boot. We don't have to bring up the Super Bowl, Rebel. We don't have to bring up the Super Bowl because we all know what happened there. Zahn said, I love your boss. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Okay. Zahn saying don't talk about it, be about it. What should we try to get a boss boot or maybe a boss chug? I don't know. Seems like he's talking the mess. I don't know. Zahn, let me know what you want to do. Let me know what you want to do. As one more time, if you want to get in on our 50-50 raffle today, $10 to enter, and you get in on the Zoom call this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Mitch, a bunch of guys in Raider Nation, Mount Raidermore, they'll all be there. It'll be a fun time hanging out. You know, get a chance to know each other, ask some questions. A little bit more off the cuff, you know, just hanging out style. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. James, okay, that's fair. You can't be coaching T-ball with a boot in you. All right, kids, run first. Run the first, kids. That is fair. That is fair. King's on. Spam the crowns for King's on. Can you imagine doing a boot, going immediately to coach T-ball? Oh, big swing, better, swing. Sir, it's T-ball. All right. Spam those crowns for Mr. Akon. Rebel was spreading maybe some lies about you, Mitch.
Uh-oh.
He said that you were 100% puking just now.
I can 100% confirm with you. I don't know if you guys can see that. No spillage came out. That's 6 happy dads in there.
How much for one punch to the gut right now?
I actually think if you hit me in the gut, I would projectile vomit. I mean, to Rebel's credit, though, there's only probably been like 3 or 4 times where I've thought like, oh my gosh, it's going to come instantly back up. That was close. Like, I had to hop off camera. I took my headset off, and I had to, like, walk.
I know. I was going to ask you a question, and I had you up screen.
I
saw you take it off and walk away. I was like.
So, again, like, you know, Chat Sports Studios-wise, and when we're in Studio A, the normal studio, I have more space to move around. I don't have a lot of space in here, so because this room's a lot smaller, I had to go into a totally different room. Lord Cameron
Abbott! Bang! Said Zahn wants a boss boot. Will it happen? No, well, LCA, we said it couldn't happen today.
Why?
He's coaching T-ball today.
Oh.
So that's why I was saying you can't show up to the T-ball practice. Be like, all right, guys, time to run the bases.
Is that what he said?
Huh?
He said he can't do it because of T-ball. Today.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. How about I will get James Yoder on this show.
Basketball.
This week.
Sorry, basketball, not T-ball.
Oh, B-ball. That makes sense.
Oh, I thought it said T-ball.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Punisher. Like I said, that's why I actually think I have a shot tomorrow against Jeremy and the Gallon Chug, because I can drink a lot like in a short amount of time, where Jeremy's like speed. He's definitely more speed, but like I think I can hold more. I definitely think I can hold more. Woo! It's just one from Anthony Marigill. Suck it up, Buttercup. All right. You know what? I put you guys up to the test. You guys have absolutely delivered and then some. I'm going to power through this, all right? I'm going to power through to the best of my ability. I'm going to put my drinking pants on. They're basically already on. The Dayquil helps.
I had to break it to y'all. That's not pants.
Yeah, that's true.
You got your drinking chubs on today. All right.
And now the drinking pants are off.
Oh, yeah. Noah Santana says it's the stash that did it. Of course it is.
The Noah Santana stash is the reason.
Before we get into the shows of today, I was just telling them all about the 50-50 raffle and Zoom call. Has there been anybody to get in the Zoom call / raffle for today? A little raffle check for you.
The answer to that is yes. I did get a few people in. When I say a few, right, it might actually be one. Though I will say this also, my phone, the Wi-Fi, it's not working out too great for me. I see Robert Ortiz is the only name that I see in right now.
All right.
Robert Ortiz, you are in. And Robert, and to anybody out there that enters the 50-50, if you could also send me your email, that would be much appreciated. That way I could just get you into our Zoom call.
Jagger.
Doing a fantasy football league where everyone drafts 2 teams. You get all of their offensive players and defensive players. Out of the 2 teams, I picked 90% of my defensive line is the Raiders. I don't know what kind of league this is.
I think he's saying he's in a fantasy football team where you literally just pick 2 teams. Like, you're like, I have all the Raiders players and the Jags players or something like that.
But then how do you pick 90% of my defensive lineup as Raiders? Like
maybe like the other team he picked is a team that sucks on defense, so I don't know.
See, I was with you where I thought people drafted like you got 2 teams, but then 90% of my defensive line is Raiders. I'm like, I don't know if it's just the 2 boots or if it's 2 drafts.
I might be too drunk to taste this chicken.
I mean, honest question. I'm not sure what that means. Rob, I am not drunk. I am white wasted. Wait, I am white, you wasted. Yep.
White boy wasted.
White boy wasted. Oh. All right, coming up here on today's show, we're going to get into my Raiders July plan, which to the people that aren't watching this live, this plan might not be exactly how I designed it originally. I mean, imagine you're going in to present like to your boss, hey, this is what I think we should do this month, July. But right before you walk into doing that plan, you throw back about 2 boots. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling a little loosey-goosey.
So I think I had it right. Jagger said the other team he picked was the Vikings, which not a good, I mean, I guess you get Justin Jefferson, but I don't know how I feel about the Vikings in fantasy this year.
I mean, you definitely did not believe in the quarterbacks. I mean, that's a fact. I think the only other team that might have a worse quarterback room than the Broncos and Raiders might be Minnesota. Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. But, like, receivers are pretty strong. Your tight end room's okay. I don't know, man. For fantasy value, I'm kind of with Chuggs. Your receivers are stacked. Like, you got great receivers. I'd have to actually understand the league a little bit, though.
Yeah, the quarterback and running back, though, might be a little...
I mean, again, you can... I will admit, Zamir White might win some leagues for some people because of where he's being drafted.
I was going to say, yeah, like, but that's in, like, a normal draft. Like, if he's,
correct.
Like, if you're thinking he's going to be your RB1, because who's the running back in Minnesota?
Jones. Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Is good.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. When I first said it, I'm like, running back. And then I was like, oh, wait, they do have Aaron Jones.
Okay.
So, like, your running back room's good.
Quarterback room, though.
Quarterback room's struggling, which, some leagues, maybe that's not that big of a deal. All right, y'all. Who's ready to continue this shit show? The only way that I'm allowed to keep this shit show going is if we get through these 3 segments right here, okay? And, Jeremy, I'm going to do something that I've never done before on a show. But David Zahn, you guys deserve it, and I mean this from Zahn, Patrick B., Jerry, LCA, Blaine Craig, Borelli, Yoda Jenkins, every person that banged today. I'm going to do something that I've never done, okay? And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was going to wait to do this a little bit later on in the month, but you know what? Sometimes you guys show out and you show love. Every time somebody bangs during a segment, okay, usually when we're doing a segment, if somebody bangs, we usually talk about it after the fact. On today's show, okay? On today's show, if you bang in the middle of that segment, I don't care where I am, unless it's a sponsor. Unless, you know what, today, F it. We're all right. We're all right today. We do have a show today sponsored by LA Crash Dog and Around Save a Warrior. The only time I will not do it immediately is when we are talking about Save a Warrior. Deal? Okay? So if this happens in the middle of a segment, I could be like, Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Raiders captains Ira Jackson. Bang! We're going to be breaking down our top 5 captains here on the Raiders Report. Usually we wait until after the fact to do it because we like to get you the segments. So today's deal is this. If you do that, okay, if you bang in the middle of a segment, it's going in the segment. Now, I'm not drinking to it because I don't want to drink in the middle of that segment, but I will bang in the middle of the segment. What?
I was doing a funny face at you, and James clipped it.
Oh, that's why I took my pants off.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. My pants are back on, by the way, just so everyone's aware.
Ira just said, let's go. So I think he wants you to go and take a beer bong.
All right. So just so you know, if you bang during the segment, it's not a beer bong. It's just I'm banging during the segment.
Here come the edits.
Of that?
It
could be worse.
I see Chase is typing.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
That one might be a good one. Coming up live here on the Raiders Report. My Raiders July plan. We got captain candidates and then a Raiders Report mailbag. This is going to be, like I said, I've never done this before, and I'm actually worried what's going to happen. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh. All right. You ready? At first, wait, what did you think he meant? He left or dipped?
Like he left.
Oh, see, I thought of it like Zin, like dipped. All right, we got to go. All right, Raiders July plan here on the Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I have put together a plan for the month of July for Antonio Pierce, for Tom Telesco, and to me, it's the top 5 things that this organization needs to do before training camp gets underway. For those that do not know, training camp, July 21st, and the veterans, they report on July 23rd. Now, I don't know about y'all. I like to challenge myself, and depending on how you want to do it, maybe some of y'all are like, I want to lose 10 pounds this month. Maybe some of you are out there like, I want to improve my 40 time. So maybe somebody out there, you're getting ready for the football season and you're just trying to improve. Well, guess what? I try to improve every single month, every single year, or else this show stops growing. Last July, the Raiders Report had 528 subscribers, brand new subscribers. This month, I want to get 529. I want to beat what we did last year. It's what you need to do to continue to grow like we do here on the Raiders Report. So if you could, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be giving shout-outs to a bunch of new subscribers all month long. What are you waiting for? It's 100% free. Subscribe to the show. So here we go. Our Raiders July plan. The first thing that if I'm the silver and black, what I would like to do is I'd like to be able to go out and sign Stephon Gilmore. As it stands right now, the Raiders have $34.1 million in salary cap space. And I would like to be able to use some of that money on what I like to look at as the biggest need right now for the Raiders. I know coaches are confident. Lord Cameron Abbott. Bang! every time you bang, I'm banging live on the show. But the reason why I want Stephon Gilmore is because we got $34.1 million, fifth most right now in NFL salary cap. I want that legit corner one. I know Ricky Manning, Gerald Alexander, our safety DB coach. They're probably very confident in Brandon Faison. You're probably very confident in a guy like Ja'Cory Bennett. But, let's have a real-life conversation here, okay? Let's actually say, is that the two starting guys that you want on a defense? A defense that I believe if you add Stephon Gilmore, it's not a question anymore. The Las Vegas Raiders have the number one defense in the NFL. The media might not give us that attention. You might not get it from a lot of people, but I'll say for the people that actually know ball, for the people that actually follow the Raiders, this defense is truly, truly special. The defensive line, I think, is the best in the NFL. A good linebacker core, a great safety core. It's just, to me, there's that one black eye on the Raiders defense, and it's figuring out who's going to play next to Jack Jones. Who's going to play next to Nate Hobbs? Because, again, if you're going to go a little bit cheaper on the quarterback play with Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, okay. But that means that we have a little bit more money to go out and spend a little bit more on the defense. Because Alex over the weekend said, Mitch, would you ever be open to the idea to get Botox before a wedding? Sometimes you need a little facelift before your big day, Chuggs. At least that's what people are trying to sell me on. Well, here's a real-life facelift. Imagine putting on your defense Stephon Gilmore, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, where Gilmore can go out there on the outside and he can still thrive in single coverage. You can put him on an island. You can put Nate Hobbs in the slot. You can have Jack Jones on the outside. And I know that Ricky Manning called Nate Hobbs the star to our defense, the missing piece to our defense. But at the end of the day, I need to be confident in this secondary from top to bottom. And if you're not confident in the secondary, then what the hell are we even doing? Come in, Raider! Bang! Ira Jackson! Bang! But you're looking at a player that's played over 1,000 snaps in back-to-back seasons. On top of that, he's got a relationship with Rob Ryan from their 2016 season with New England. And, that was the year that he won Defensive Player of the Year. This could be just one of those minor things that this coaching staff, which obviously really appreciates and wants to have that player-coach type of relationship where this could be the cherry on top to getting this deal done. And I know that he's 33 years old. He's about to be 34 years old. He's still playing at a very high level. Last season with the Dallas Cowboys, 74.4 overall PFF grade. He's good against the run. He's good in coverage. He still does everything at an above average level. And I know that there's some people out there going well, Mitch, what about Xavier Howard? And this is me being honest. Before the Xavier Howard news came out, if you didn't know what it is, essentially, long story short, Xavier Howard sent pictures of a woman to her son. It's weird behavior. And they were so close to me where I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to deal with any bullshit this year, and I don't think AP is either. So because of that, X, you drop down one. Stephon Gilmore goes up. I'd still rather have Xavier Howard over Adoree Jackson, Patrick Peterson, because he's the better player. But Stephon Gilmore is the number one player that I'm targeting in free agency right now because it's the Raiders' biggest need. Is it going to cost some money? Yeah, it's going to cost some money, which is why I'm going to ask you guys this question. We got $34.1 million in salary cap space. Let's just say right now, $10 million per year. Are you signing? Are you passing? This is going to be the pinned comment here on today's show. Scroll on down. Give me your answer. I am going to sign. I am going to do this because this is the type of move that you make if you're Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, to convince your fan base that you're all in. And I know that the Raiders went out and got Christian Wilkins. I know that the Raiders have done some really good under-the-radar moves, but $10 million, which is probably where he's going to be. Spotrac, PFF, you can see what they projected for him to get this offseason. But the Raiders have that money to do it. And if you're going to be a team that charges the highest ticket price in the NFL by far and not have a quarterback making all this top-end money, The only thing I'm asking is, okay, let's put some of that quarterback money towards that defense. You've already done it with Christian Wilkins. I just want the cherry on top. Give me that Raiders defense that fires me up every single week. And with Stephon Gilmore, you're the best defense in the NFL. Let's go to the next thing that I'm doing here in the month of July. I'm going out and I'm signing Emmanuel Ogbah. I know that I've seen a lot of Raider fans, for whatever reason, on social media, especially where it's like, the Raiders don't need any defensive ends. If you don't think that the Raiders should go out and sign Emmanuel Ogbah, if you don't think that this team needs another defensive end, then I don't really know what to tell you, because this team desperately, and I mean desperately, needs depth at the defensive end position. Because if you have confidence in anybody outside of Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, and Malcolm Kuntz, you're lying to yourself. If you're telling me we got to be in a position, in a big-time situation, and Janarius Robinson, David Agoa, the UDFA, Ron Stone, UDFA, TJ Franklin, Amari Gaynor, UDFA, Ellerson Smith, or Charles Snowden trots out there to the field, you're going to say, get the hell off the field. My only point is I want Ogbah to be able to go out there because it makes us so much better as a defensive line. You put Ogbah out there where maybe he's just playing on third down. That also allows Tyree Wilson to get that extra breather. It also allows Tyree Wilson to play inside, because if you haven't seen Tyree Wilson lately, Chuggs, dude is massive. And I showed Chuggs a picture of him today when I walked into work on Monday, and he's like, I told you so. He's so big right now. Like, from where we saw him, Super Bowl weekend compared to July, I bet you he's put on 30 pounds. He is that much bigger of a dude. Now, maybe that's a little bit blown. He's got his arms popped out. But, this is a move that the Raiders can afford, and it makes your defense better. It's not going to be a back-breaking type of contract. All I'm looking to do, though, is, to me, Malcolm Kuntz has got a rotational guy where Tyree Wilson can come and fill in. But if we also want Wilson to play on the interior, Max ain't coming off the field, y'all. Max ain't coming off the field. So if I want Tyree Wilson in at defensive tackle, if Malcolm needs a breather, well, now you can also put Emmanuel Ogbah on the other side. I want more depth in the AFC West. On top of that, he's got experience with Rob Leonard, the Raiders defensive line coach. He's got great relationships with some already current players on this team. Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, John Jenkins. And also, we've said this a lot. Again, I'm looking for the cherry on top, because that's what this Raiders defense needs. It's already got the full banana split type of a Sunday. You want to make this the number one defense in the NFL, you need some sprinkles, and you need a cherry on top. Stephon Gilmore, cherry on top. Emmanuel Ogbah, some sprinkles in that thing. And one of the things that we're looking for the sprinkles for Telesco is AFC West experience. He's got it. He's got a Super Bowl ring, 2019. And that might not mean a lot to some people, but you know what? If we do ever make the playoffs, which, God, I'm freaking hoping, I think every person watching this show right now wants the Raiders to make the playoffs. The one thing that we don't have, playoff experience. There's really nobody on our team that has a lot of playoff experience. So if you can add a player that also has playoff experience, has a Super Bowl title with AFC West experience, you know what? Who doesn't like a little sprinkles on their Sunday? Here we go. We got an awesome Raiders Report shirt, and I wanted to be able to show this shirt because I want to give a shout-out to Noah Santana. I'm rocking this mustache for you, Noah, just so you know. But also, when I watched the live comments, which was probably about an hour before we went live, people were talking about what is a real one. And a real one to me is people who are watching this video in July 1st. Dude, believe me when I tell you this, the fact that you're watching Raiders YouTube videos in July, those are my type of people. And I wanted to be able to tell y'all, if you don't already know, we got Real One for Life shirts available at chatsports.com/RO4L. You can get any of the shirts that you see. Also, we still got these bad boys. I know Josh McDaniels, for the love of God, is not our head coach anymore, right? But at the same time, we still have Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, Eat Corn the Long Way, and if you want the McDaniels one, it is available on top of that. We make a lot of different stuff here for the Raiders Report for our viewers, our audience. We have the best audience, I think, on YouTube, and I know a lot of other Raiders content creators have amazing audience as well, and hell, we probably share a lot of the same people. But if you're a real one, it's somebody to me that is a diehard Raider fan, but also a diehard Raiders Report fan. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. If I need to explain what a real one is, you're not a real one. And that's okay. Chatsports.com/RO4L if you got to get your Real One shirt. But again, I only want it if you're a real one. Let's go to the next thing that the Raiders need to do in the month of July. You got to extend Robert Spillane. And you're going to see that I actually think that the Raiders need to extend another player, and I'll talk about who that is in a second. But, what I also have to figure out is the amount of money we have. Because if I'm going to say you got to sign Ogbah and sign Stephon Gilmore, I also got to be able to set off enough money aside to be able to give the contract extensions that I need to be able to give. Spillane was named a team captain and wore the green dot last season. This is a player that I know the nation loves, that this team loves. I was talking to Crosby over the weekend, and Crosby and I were kind of just chit-chatting about, what Spillane means to this team and the fact that Spillane had a baby over the weekend, okay? Spillane had a baby over the weekend. I'm actually going to bet some money that I think here in the next 2 weeks, Robert Spillane gets a contract extension. Based off of what I think, right, I guess is how I'll have to say it, Spillane, not a lot of extension conversations were going on because his wife was pregnant and their kid was going to be born at any moment. Now that he's a dad, they're going to give him his time. I actually think Spillane ends up getting an extension this offseason to lock him. He's 29 years old, just got married. Him and his family, they love being out in Vegas. I think this one ends up getting done. That's the first extension that the Raiders do. Coming off a career year, they go out, they draft a guy like Tommy Eichenberg, who's very, very similar skill set to Spillane, where you're like, this guy's not a great athlete. He's just a really good football player. Spillane, again, not a great athlete, but he always found himself near the football. So if I'm going to go out and I'm going to extend Spillane, I want to give him a 2-year deal. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal at $19 million with $12 million of that guaranteed, which that puts his new contract, when you look at the whole thing from top to bottom, 3 years, $24.3 million. You lock him in with Max Crosby, and adding a guy like Spillane to that defense for one, linebacker is probably going to be one of the cheaper deals that we go out and we give. And, you got to do that if you're going to go out and get Stephon Gilmore on top of that. But then also, I want players that have that Max Crosby mindset. Robert Spillane brings that Max Crosby mindset, and the more and more players you add, the more and more contagious, the more and more that standard just goes to a whole nother level. Players like Robert Spillane, they bring it every single day, but the days that you don't know about, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are the players that we need. Those are the extensions we need to do. I got to give a shout-out to some of our new subs here. Jason, Hannibal Bean, Deuce, Wayne Forrest. 2 rules if you want to shout out on the Raiders Report and you're a new sub. 1, you got to be a new sub. So what is a new sub? It's somebody that just subscribed to the Raiders Report in the last week or so. On top of that, you also need to have a picture. Y'all can see me. I want to start seeing some of y'all. So if you want to have a shout-out here on the show, hit that subscribe button and join the Raiders Report family. Let's go to the next extension that I think that I would like the Raiders to do before training camp gets underway. I would go out and I extend Trevon Merrick. And you know what? With $34.1 million, the Raiders would have the ability to do all 4 of these things. Now, if you wanted to do even more, you can restructure contracts. There's void years for a reason. You could even put some void years on a contract like Devontae Adams and free up even more. My point is, the Raiders have enough money. $34.1 million is enough to do all 4 of the things that I just said. And when you see players like Rob Ryan saying Trevon Merrick is the best safety in the NFL, put your money where your mouth is. If you actually believe that statement, if the Raiders have coaches, when they go up there and they talk at a podium, and if Rob Ryan believes in what he says, then put your money where your mouth is. Because if you actually think that you got the best safety in the NFL, and maybe I'm a little bullish for thinking this, but I want Antonio Pierce to run the team the way that he is, where when AP talks, I believe it. And if we're just going to have coaches that say whatever the hell we want, I don't want that. Put your money where your mouth is, because this guy, when you look at him the last 3 weeks of last year, 6th best safety in the NFL according to PFF, his coverage ratings got better. This was the Jim Thorpe Award winner back in, 2021 out of TCU. Merrick has all the skill sets, and I do think he's one of the most underrated safeties in the NFL. I think he's one of the most underappreciated players in the NFL. But the Raiders are probably going to have to make a decision between Marcus Epps and Trevon Merrick, where you might not be able to extend both. Quite frankly, I don't think that the Raiders do it. So because I'm giving money to Gilmore, I'm giving money to Ogbah, you're not going to have enough money for Malcolm. We'll talk about him here in a second. So I went linebacker and safety. two positions that's not going to break the bank, but two players that I'd like to have around. Only 25 years old, and if the Raiders have to pick between extending Trevon Merrick or Marcus Epps, I'm going to bet on the younger kid who's better in coverage. Epps is maybe a better safety right now, depending on how you use him, but like Merrick is the guy that I'm going to project going forward. So let's play a game here. You can only extend one, okay? You can only extend one. You're going to pick either Robert Spillane or Trevon Merrick. Spillane's 29. Merrick, he's 25 years old. My deal for Merrick is, it's like $7 million per year, I think is what the number came out to be. So 41 for Spillane, type 7 for Trevon Merrick. Please let me know down below what you would consider. For me personally, if I got to pick what the Raiders are going to do, I think that they're going to pick Spillane. However, though, when you look at my extension offer for Merrick, this might be a better deal in the long run. Like the 2 years, $16 million with $13 million guaranteed. I don't know if Merrick's going to take that just because he is so young. But if I have to give him the $8 million per year and I got to do that for an additional year, I would consider it because to me, Merrick's going to be one of the NFL's best safeties for the next 5 seasons. That's how good this guy is from top to bottom. Now, I know some of you are like, well, Mitch, what about Malcolm Kuntz? If I want to extend Malcolm Kuntz, you're not going to be able to sign Stephon Gilmore. So because I believe that extension is, or that contract is so valuable, and I think Malcolm is a very, very talented player, but you're also hoping, and I'm a believer that Tyree Wilson's going to be able to take that next step. On top of that, Malcolm's probably going to want to test free agency next offseason. Another player that I'm going to talk about here that some of you are probably bringing up is Nate Hobbs. And the reason why I'm not going to extend Hobbs is because of the injuries and because I want to see him do it at a higher level. To me, Hobbs underplayed a little bit to what the expectation is. And where good slot corner, not an outside guy. And for the Raiders, I would rather you not pay Nate Hobbs compared to Merrick now, and then have Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs kind of both hit that off-season spot, and then you have the decision to be able to pick between Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, where you're going to allocate that money, because I think a lot of Raider fans think Hobbs is better than Jones, but because Jones is an outside corner, that might be a little bit more money, and that's also one of AP's guys. The final thing that I'm going to do here in the month of July is I'm going to trade Matthew Butler, and I didn't want to do something like insane, outlandish, just because you could probably put a lot of other players to trade. I'm going to put the player that I actually think legitimately has the highest chance to get traded before training camp gets underway. Matthew Butler at defensive tackle. It's going to be find a spot for him, because when I did a 53-man roster, he didn't make my team. He was a 5th-round pick, Josh McDaniels guy, and was a healthy scratch a little bit last season. Didn't practice at all during mandatory minicamps. If you trade him, you save $915K. And at this point, this is me trying to, instead of just cutting a guy, let me trade somebody that I can maybe get something for. And if, we've talked about Byron Young in the past, it sounds like Byron Young's going to end up making this roster. But for Matthew Butler, why would you not try to get something? You know what I mean? Like this is a yard sale, essentially, where you're like, I have something that I don't need anymore. And instead of me just throwing it away, if I put it on the yard and I say $1, you know what? I'm $1 richer. And that's what this version is. You're probably going to get a conditional 7th-round pick for Matthew Butler. And if you're able to do it, you're able to do it. Because to me, this is going to be a team that's going to keep 5 defensive tackles, okay? You're going to have Christian Wilkins, John Jenkins, Adam Butler, Byron Young. Those guys are going to make it. Depending on how they use Tyree Wilson, maybe could open the door up a little bit more for a guy like Butler. But then I think that Nesta Jade Silvera has a bit of an advantage. And I just know that Butler is not in the best place with this coaching staff. Again, that's just what I know. And because of that, you might as well get something from Matthew Butler. So here is my Raiders July plan that I would like to send to AP and Telesco. If you like my plan, share it on social media. The more people we can get behind this, it has already been proven that our voice is so loud that they're willing to fire Josh McDaniels halfway through the season, when everybody told us you're wasting your time. A, B, C, D, or F, grade my July plan here for the Raiders. To be honest, I'm going to give it a B+. Yes, you had a good player here in Stephon Gilmore. You had somebody really solid here in Emmanuel Ogbah. I would like to extend Malcolm Kuntz, and because of that reason is why I didn't give it an A, but I think this is a good play for the Raiders from top to bottom. Raider Wifey, what's up? Gilmore makes number 1 D. Do you believe AOC or Minshew can win a Super Bowl with that defense? Remember these 2 names, Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. They are Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Nobody remembers them, just number 1 defenses. If the Raiders do legitimately have the best defense in the NFL, oh my goodness. I'll get back to this here in just a second. It's fun to stay at the LCA. Bang! Bang!
I think you need...
All right, hang on a second here. Bang number 4 and 5. I'm going to tell you this. I'm doing the best I can.
But I think you need to...
What? You still look thirsty. No?
Read the first part.
Bang number 4 and number 5.
So 5 bangs.
Count it up for your drinks. Is that 5 though? 2. Yep. All right. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. My math sucks. It's fun to stay at the LCA. Lord Cameron Abbott. Lord Cameron Abbott. Holy cow. You guys are trying to kill me today. Y'all are trying to kill me today.
Rubio. Mitchell Renz presents Raiders ASMR.
What is that?
You know what ASMR is?
I forget.
It's like where they just do the sounds. It's like sometimes it's like really quiet. It's like...
So Alex and I, we watched this one random chick do this on a Mercedes vehicle. She's got bleach blonde hair, and she's just like, and she just like touches different parts of the car, and every time she gets done, she just says, so, so anytime, I don't know, like if Alex makes a weird noise, or I'm not going to lie, sometimes if I fart ridiculously loud, I just go, but now I know what this is.
Just ripped ass.
I don't know if any of y'all have seen that video, but
reminds me of this Gabriel Iglesias skit where he was talking about how commercials in Mexico are so much sexier than the commercials in the U.S. He's like, you'll be watching the TV and it'll just be some sexy Latin woman. She's like, ¡ay, qué rico! Pepsi.
Pepsi. I mean, I will say this. You know, like, imagine that kid, that kid in you when...
Pause.
That's the ultimate pause. But, like, we were all at that point where you wake up at, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's, like, Girls Gone Wild, and it's censored. It's, you know, it's the man show. The juggies are jumping on trampolines. That's what they were called. Let's just be honest. That's what they were called.
Pepsi.
That's what they were called. $10
Venmo to get in.
Yes. However, though, what was I saying? I had a story, and I don't remember it anymore. This is brutal.
Get in the duck race and the Venmo, or in the Zoom call. $10 entry.
Oh, I remember. But, you know, you wake up 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, oh, my God, this is Girls Gone Wild. This is insane. I need to lock my door. I lived in Germany, and I was like 17, and that same thing happened to me. In Germany, like, there were naked people on billboards. Billboards. Like, you're driving down the road, and naked people on billboards. Commercials, naked. TV, naked. Like, there was no...
censorship.
None.
Naked.
None.
Like I said, Venmo, $10 to get in the duck race and join the Zoom call Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. David Rubio, yes, I said Michelle, not Mitchell, because I've only seen girls do ASMR.
Michelle.
Yeah,
And I can't even say it. What's the line from Dodgeball?
Michelle.
No, but it's my
National
begins with a
Ginger
C.
Snap Day.
Dude, love ginger snaps.
So the reason why I asked this question is because I said it, and somebody, whenever I said it earlier, I didn't realize it was National Ginger Snap Day until you had put it in the script.
Okay.
I said National Ginger Snap Day, and I heard somebody say that's an underrated dessert. So I want to know.
I love ginger snaps.
What are some of your most underrated desserts? I know we all love cake, ice cream, cheesecake. What's an underrated dessert that you absolutely love that doesn't get as much love?
I mean, I'll say this.
Tiramisu, for me.
See, and I love tiramisu. However, now, like, that's Alex's favorite dessert. So every time we go out for dinner, right, unless we're going to get 2 desserts, because I have the sweet tooth, we usually get tiramisu because that's also the dessert. Like, that's the one she likes. Tiramisu now for me is like Happy Dads, where, like, I don't really want tiramisu now. Like, I want something else. I want to try it. I think my most underrated dessert is a really good key lime pie, and I only say that because we went out for dinner over the weekend, and I wanted the key lime pie. Alex wanted the tres leches cake.
I see tres leches. I see cannoli.
Or we could get, it was chocolate lava cake.
Oh.
I want a key lime pie, though. Like, chocolate lava cake, to me, winter dessert. I'm not going to have key lime pie in November or December. Key lime pie in June and July.
I see.
A lot better.
Tapioca pudding, baklava.
Dude, baklava can get it. Have you ever had baklava?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to say I love baklava. I think it's good.
It sounds like a dessert that you either love or you can't have.
You have to be in the mood for it.
All right.
Cannoli, I see triple chocolate fudge cream pie. Wow. I see oatmeal cream pie, strawberry shortcake, lemon meringue.
Really?
Flan. Flan is underrated.
I do love a good flan.
Arroz con leche, sherbet.
Sherbet?
Sherbet.
Sherbet?
Budweiser.
Do you know what makes sherbet so addicting?
What?
No, it's an honest question.
What?
It's made. You guys can look this up. So sherbet ice cream, not all sherbet now, but like the sherbet ice cream that you had when you were a kid, they basically we've talked about this before. It's like it's secretions from a beaver's butthole.
Oh, yeah.
They put it in the sherbet ice cream because it's got it's not nicotine, but it has a addictive quality to it.
Love that.
Well,
can you check your phone real quick for me?
yeah, it's I'll tell you what, today's show.
Did you send it to me or TV?
I didn't send it to anybody. Quite frankly, I'm afraid to send it to you. All right, I'll send it to you right now. Today's gonna take a turn. All right, let's just say that.
Holy shit.
Today's gonna take a turn. Can you just let me go get something real quick before we do that? We got a segment coming up here today. I also got to change my jersey.
There's a lot going on. We will shenanigan. Ira, we have it. Mitch said he needs to go get something real quick, though. All right, Mitch will be right back. Mitch will be right back. Ira, you crazy SOB. Nope, can't have them. No deal. Live Oak says, much love, Chuggs. Hold it down. Hey, that's what I try to do. Mr. Akon Churro. Churros go hard. Pause. Most underrated dessert? I like flan, though. I forgot who put flan earlier. 7-Up cake is a good one, too. Good pie on Thanksgiving. Strawberry rhubarb. Italian ice. I know everybody has, like, their cold treat that they have. I know Marshall has a buddy in the Northeast. He has something called water ice. I know Italian ice, snow cone, snowball, Japanese crepes from Yoda. Look very delicious. What's your cold treat that you have in the summertime? Because I know people in the Northeast, they have like water ice, like I said. There's snowballs. There's Italian ice. Horchata. Raspados. Raspas. Coco y azul. Raspas. Creamy.
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I am a man who likes
Carvel
Yes.
ice cream cake.
See, Carvel's good. Don't get me wrong. I do think, though, Carvel can be better. When I think about, like, high end, like the best of the best, personally, I think of
Ira Jackson! Ira Jackson!
Let's go! Iro!
Marshall hates us right now so much.
Oh, dude. We're about to change New York Knicks now to Making It Media. Making It Media by Marshall Green.
Oh, my goodness.
F them. F them. I hope somebody's watching. F them. All right, Ira. I know, guys, I haven't been keeping up, right? I haven't been keeping up. I got a boot. I'm gonna try to. We're gonna try to catch up here a little bit. Which there's a lot of people watch right now. I know I don't need one, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and then
So safe to say Ira's in the Zoom call.
we'll allow it.
May I help you?
Are you? It's Monday. I'll tell you what, this week's gonna be something.
Mercedes.
Oh my god.
Did France win? Oh, fuck.
They managed to beat It was a clown.
Mercedes.
The guy tried to make it so much about himself.
Oh, here we go. Where'd he? Oh, I was like, where'd he go? Your mic's not on. Your mic wasn't there, so they didn't even hear you. Well, if you're gonna drink it, you might as well do it on camera. Mercedes. Oh. So for the
I'm
lemonade,
gonna need swimmies for my next boot.
for the lemonade chugging contest, it would be 3 of those, and then you would add a half onto that. All at once, though.
That's still like, but the carbonation is so much more. Like when I get done, the amount of burps.
But the amount of sugar in like the actual lemonade chugging contest.
Oh, we're not doing the actual one.
No, I know. I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying in the actual one.
Yes.
I mean, how much sugar do you think is in a gallon of lemonade?
Probably 4 cups.
Oh my. I mean, that's insane. You're probably right, though. Can you choose to have a less sweet lemonade? If you're just like...
Diabetic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What if there's a... that's a conversation for another day.
David. I've actually seen this hack before.
McDonald's apple pie smashed into an ice cream. I mean, is that good, or is it good because it's cheap?
I mean, people say it's pretty good. They just get like a cup of the soft serve from McDonald's. They smash the apple pie in it.
They have zero sugar lemonade, but is that the lemonade they use?
I don't know the rules on it.
I mean,
because
that's true.
It might be different if you use a different lemonade.
If anybody's just tuning in to today's show, I know it's Monday. You can blame Zahn. You can blame Ira. Lord Cameron Abbott. Mount Raider Moore's been after it today, man.
Jagger.
I don't know. I think I know what that is. But if it's an actual dessert.
It's not.
Okay.
I might have extra sweet tickets to the Chargers game.
I mean, do you or do you not? You know, like, I might hit the lottery. I might. You might.
Which I might.
Coming up on today's show, I might also have a segment around captain candidates. We're going to break it down.
Did anybody else get into the duck race as well?
Oh, dude. This is a whole nother discussion. Nope. So far, the only people that are in, as it stands right now, Robert Ortiz, Ira Jackson, Amy, my dad, Anthony Marigil's in twice. Ira Jackson, I'll refresh one more time. Charles G. Oh, boy, Charles. I spelled your name wrong. That's on me, man. So right now, we are about 10. You'd win $40. But every person that sends in a 10, you're also going to be in for our Zoom call on Wednesday, which, if Zahn's available, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you do, please also send me your email.
Would
Send
that
me
be
your email.
3:30 specific?
What?
3:30 specific time?
Specifically on the Pacific, yes. 3:30.
There we go.
And now we got it.
All right, coming up, Mitch's predictions for the El Capitans of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll tell you what, today it's not going to be my best. Won't be my worst. Not going to be my best. I hope you guys have some fun. Deal still stands. If you bang.
Is Raphael in? He said M-I-N.
Raphael is in.
There you go, Raphael.
And then LCA also in. So winner right now, $50.
Here we go.
All right. This is going to be interesting. Sponsor, we're good. All right. Yeah,
Here we go.
Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, my prediction on who is going to be the Raiders captains in 2024. Everybody spam Chuggs down below, and I'll tell you what he said to me right here. So the Raiders captains in 2023, we had 9 of them. Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs, no longer with this football team. So that means we got 7 captains from last season on this roster. What I'm going to try to do on today's show is I'm going to tell you who I believe the captains for the 2024 Las Vegas Raiders are going to be under Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, but I'm also going to try to predict who the new captains are going to be because, let's be honest, probably going to have some familiar faces. If you are subscribed to the Raiders Report, I want you to spam yes down below. My goal for the month of July is to give love to the real ones, show why you should subscribe to the show. We're going to give love to the new subs, and if you're not, then hit that subscribe button today. If you didn't see what happened on our July 1st live show, that's an Oakland tailgate in a nutshell. You don't know what the hell's going to happen, man. Shout out to all the real ones. Shout out to Mount Raider Moore. We are an unbelievable family here. You're good. You can say it.
If yes, when did you subscribe?
You know what? I totally forgot about that part. If you have subscribed, let me know down below. Shout out to Ricky, Jonathan, Tim T. Did you purposely have Tim T and then Tim? Are they the same person? I don't really know. I think we can both agree on this. Both of them possibly 100% are definitely a Tim. But like, this is why you subscribe to the show. Raiders content, we're going to chop it up like a friends and family, and multiple Tims. Here are the Raiders captains guaranteed for this upcoming season. We got 7 of them, and I think we can all agree that this is going to be the unit that's probably not going to get their C's taken away. You can make the argument of maybe a Marcus Epps, but this is also why I just continuously say, like, Marcus Epps is one of the most underrated safeties in the NFL because of what he does on and off the field and how much of a leader and how intelligent of a player he is for our defense, and then what he does for just all the other guys encompassing this mentality every night. So coming up here, I got the top 5 new captain candidates in 2024. And I'm not saying that all 5 of these players are going to be captains, but I'm going to guess that most of the votes that come in here are going to be around these 5 players. I did try to just, outline them of who I think is the more likely and less likely. And as this list goes down, is kind of how the way that I did that. First player coming up here, though, is Nate Hobbs. And I think Nate Hobbs has got a really, really good opportunity ahead of him where he can be a legit outside corner. He can also be a legit inside corner. And that versatility is something that Patrick Graham needs for this defense. Ricky Manning said that this is kind of like the key to unlocking this team. And if your coaches are saying that about you, like, we know the upside of Nate Hobbs. We've seen it. It's as high as, come in, Raider! Bang! But Nate Hobbs is also that player that I do think can unlock a lot of things. We always talk about 12 personnel on the offensive side of the football and how confusing that can be for your defensive coordinator. Nate Hobbs is kind of that guy. He's kind of our gadget guy, our Trey Tucker mixed in with a little bit more of Brock Bowers because he's going to cause a lot of confusion for the offensive coordinator because you can line him up in a lot of different things. My point, though, here is with a guy like Hobbs is if you're looking at this cornerback room, tell me out of this cornerback room who is the most deserving of being named captain. I mean, this is either Nate Hobbs or Jack Jones. And because of that, I put Nate Hobbs on the list. Let's go to the next player here that we're going to be breaking down as a potential captain. It's Andre James. So the Las Vegas Raiders, they re-signed James this offseason. And you got a new offensive line coach in James Craig. But when you look at this roster, okay, as the longest tenured Raiders players, Andre James is on that list. Like, UDFA from UCLA, somebody that's been around since 2019, and the only players that have a longer longevity than Andre James, Max Crosby, Colton Miller, like, that's it. So the Raiders, they made a decision to bring him back. Tom Telesco was a believer that if you're going to win, you're going to win in the trenches. And I know that Colton Miller is already a captain. But I'm just telling you, Andre James carries more weight and has a bigger voice amongst the Raiders' offensive linemen and amongst that Raiders team than a guy like Colton Miller does. Andre James is a player that is very, very highly regarded, and because of that, could be somebody to just keep in mind as being a potential captain. We got more captain candidates coming up here on the show, but you know what? If you want to walk to a Raiders tailgate, if you want to be the captain of a Raiders party in Vegas this season, what I really want to see more of this year, and I'm just being honest, I want to see more Raiders Report gear. I want to see the jerseys that we've been sending out to people. I want to see Raiders Report t-shirts. I want to see Real One shirts, and if anybody wants to get one, go to chatsports.com/RO4L. You're going to be able to get a bunch of the shirts that we have to offer. But the reason why that I want to see them is because it's one of those things where, when you go to a Vegas game, right, you like look at a bunch. My mic went out. And now we're back. Are we back? Live TV at its finest. So, you get Corn the Long Way shirts, Broncos, Chargers, but like I always, when I go out to Vegas, I want to know who the hell is actually watching our show. If you have one of these shirts on, I instantly know. And Chuggs and I are going to be taking some trips out to Vegas this year. We're going to be hooking up. I'm not going to say that. We're going to be hanging out with a bunch of Raiders fans all year this year. And I just want to know where my real ones are at. So if you're watching this show in July, real one. Chatsports.com/RO4L. And who knows? Chuggs said, you know what? If you want to wear one of these shirts, we'll sign it. Absolutely. That way you don't have to get it tatted. Let's go to the next one. Shout out to you, Taino. Gardner Minshew. Quarterback, and bottom line is, Chuggs and I have had this debate, a bunch of times where somebody at the quarterback position is probably going to be a team captain. But breaking down which one it's going to be, kind of a tough decision, right? Like, I think Gardner Minshew, if he's the starting quarterback of this team, deserves to be the captain of the football team, because you can't have another quarterback be a captain, and I think every single NFL team has a QB that is a captain. So just because I'm saying it's a battle between Gardner and a battle between Aidan, you're going to end up picking a QB to be the captain anyway. And I don't think that you can take the captain status away. Yeah, it might be weird if Gardner wins the battle and Aidan's the captain, or vice versa. But because this battle's going to come down to the very, very end of maybe not knowing who that starter is going to be, my question is this. Who's going to be, will the Raiders starting quarterback be a captain? Give me a yes or no. Because if I'm Telesco, if I'm Antonio Pierce, I'm not making the decision of who's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback publicly until week 1, the day before the actual game. And when the captains get announced compared to when you actually play the game is probably like 7 to 8 days. I don't want to give Jim Harbaugh that extra edge of competence. I don't want to give him that extra week to be able to prepare. We see NFL teams prepare all the time in a week span. But I will admit, if the Raiders name either Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew a team captain a week before the Raiders actually play, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to go, well, now I know who the Raiders starting quarterback is. And I think that you give that extra leg of competition to your opponent. So give me a yes, give me a no. Will the Raiders starting quarterback this upcoming season be named team captain? We saw Jimmy Garoppolo do it last year. How did that work out? Let's go to the next name here. It's Aidan O'Connell. It's not a surprise. And the reason why I have Aidan here after Gardner is because I do actually think that if the season started today, Aidan would be the starting quarterback, because based on reports from Jeremy Fowler, based on things that we said, 2-3 weeks before Jeremy Fowler, it was based on the idea that Aidan O'Connell had the leg up on the competition. Joan Scheffler! Bang! And because he had that extra leg up on that competition is why I have Aidan a little bit higher. But I'll also say this. If you were to tell me which quarterback in the NFL, maybe which quarterback in the NFL is the most deserving to being named captain, but isn't the starting quarterback of their team, I'll say Aidan O'Connell. I don't know if you can give me a better name, because Gardner's not really a leader outside of the locker room the way Aidan is, but whatever Gardner does, Gardner's a player to me where he's probably the most annoying guy when he was growing up, because he was like, I'm just going to show up to practice, but on game day, I'm a gamer. And Gardner Minshew is a freaking gamer, where Aidan might be the better practice player, so it wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me. But if they were to do it this way, you name Aidan the captain and Gardner the starting quarterback. Let's now go to the final player and the most likely new captain. It's going to be Christian Wilkins. And the only reason why I say this is because money talks, right? Money talks. I know the Raiders already have a captain on their defensive line in Max Crosby. However, though, the amount of money that was spent on Wilkins, if you're giving a player a 4-year, $110 million, $82.5 million contract, where he's right now the second highest paid player at his position, and when he made that deal in free agency, it was like a monumental deal. You gave Christian Wilkins quarterback money. If that's the move that you're going to make, you don't give the type of contract that you do to Christian Wilkins unless you view him as a team captain. And I think Wilkins is a hell of a football player, but he doesn't have any Pro Bowls, right? He has been a little bit inconsistent. He's never had the talent around him that he's about to have, and he's getting Rob Leonard back, which I think is the best defensive line coach in the NFL. But, like, on top of that, though, you don't give somebody that you view as a team captain that type of money unless you view them as a team captain. So let me know down below. Last season, the Las Vegas Raiders, wow, breaking Celtics news. How many captains will the Raiders have this season? The Silver and Black last season had 9. How many captains will the Silver and Black end up having this upcoming season? For me personally, if you had 7 last year or 9 last season and you have 7 now, based on the players that I just talked about, you have to add 2 more. Your quarterback, Christian Wilkins, for that reason, minimum 9 captains for the Silver and Black. If you want to know some honorable mentions that I had, Jacoby Myers is super well respected in that room. He's not the loudest guy, but like if you were to ask every single Raiders player who's like the most father-like figure to a lot of the other players, it's Jacoby. John Jenkins is in that exact same boat. He's also got a lot of pull because of Crosby's pull in that team. Jack Jones, the other corner next to Nate Hobbs. Trevon Merrick, I think, deserves to be in that conversation. And then Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz is a player that this coaching staff is very impressed by his maturity. They think he's already talented, but it's that maturity that was able to take it to the next level. So one more time here are the new captain candidates for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season. I got Nate Hobbs, Andre James, Gardner Minshew, Aidan O'Connell, and Christian Wilkins. If you want me to share this on my Instagram story, tag me at Mitchell Renz 365. Every person that takes a screenshot tags me. I promise you I will share it on my Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. Jeremy Chuggs. Yellow or pink? This is actually an important question.
Pink.
All right. I fully agree with Jeremy.
Pink, unless it's fresh lemonade.
Okay.
Unless
it is freshly squeezed lemonade. I could not
But if
agree
we're
with
talking
you more.
powder, pink.
Could not agree with you more. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. I didn't know, and I'm actually curious to see the way Raider fans go because they're very like traditional where it's like, are you guys open to the idea of changing the jerseys? Most Raider fans say no to that because they're like, it's traditional. Lemonade, that traditional.
What's the best flavor of lemonade you've ever had? Like if you had to add like another fruit or add like a lemonade drink.
All right, so I had this one time in a drink and I loved it. Basil. Basil and lemonade. It might be kind of weird. Like if I have iced tea, it's mint.
It's a seasonal flavor at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you're gonna.
The watermelon mint lemonade is crack.
I already knew you were gonna say that.
I've asked them so many times, can I get a larger drink of it? And Chick-fil-A, I don't know why, with their specialty drinks, they only let you get a medium.
So you gotta get 10.
Yeah, you have to get 2 mediums if you want more.
I mean, I get it.
Why? Why
pay
can't I
more.
pay? But why can't I just pay more to get the large?
Because you technically don't pay as much. If you order a large, you save money. But if you're saying, I want a large, if I'm thinking them, I'm like, well, he's just going to buy 2.
But then why don't they do that with all their drinks?
Because it's seasonal. In demand. I get it. I also get what you're saying.
I hate it. Strawberry lemonade, Arnold Palmer's a good one. I love a good Arnold Palmer. There's this place.
That's my dad's favorite drink.
You and Alex would really like this place. It's called Postino, but it's a wine bar that has like a bunch of like really good appetizers and boards that you can get. They had an Arnold Palmer that had apricot flavoring in it. It was so good.
That does sound really good. Apricot. Who was the person that I met the other day that had peach for the very first time? I think it was Cullen.
Peach for the first time?
Yeah, Cullen. Cullen never had a peach besides when Tennessee beat Texas A&M that Sunday. First peach he ever had in his life.
This is the first bang I've had in about a minute. John Scheffler!
Mr. Scheffler.
Oh, Sheffy, can't you see? Sometimes your supers hypnotize me, and I just love your Sheffy ways. That's why I broke in your soap. I didn't know what I was gonna say for the last.
Oh, John Scheffler. All right, man. Mount Raider Moore. I got to give Mount Raider Moore some credit today. They have really, really shown up, okay? So by my calculation, if this is correct, Ira's hit the gong today. Zahn has hit the gong today. LCA has hit the gong today. If one more member of Mount Raider Moore hits the gong today, we're gonna do a call later on today. When I get home from work, we're gonna do a call. When I get home from work.
Live Oak says F Pittsburgh.
F the Steelers. I mean, I'll tell you this. You guys have taken it personal, and I respect it.
It's the Jordan meme.
I mean, quite frankly, I respect it.
And I took that personally.
The crazy thing is, we might do this every day in July we go live. So if you don't know, every day, okay, we got, the reason why today's crazy, long story short, is we don't like losing. Raider Nation does not like losing. And for 26 straight months, the Raiders Report was the number one. We do power rankings here at Chat Sports. Was the number one ranked show here at Chat Sports. And because we lost, we didn't make the most money, and Super Chat Steelers beat us. But then also we lost a sub battle. If you watched the show last month, you saw we battled the Niners in a sub battle. We lost that battle. So because we lost two big battles, we got bumped down to number 2. Our Steelers show now was ranked number 1. And I said every single show, because I'm not coming in second place again. And I'm not mad at y'all. I hate losing. I'm a very competitive person. And Chuggs and I, we take a lot of pride in being the top channel here, right? Like the studio we're in Studio D. We're not Studio A. We usually get Studio A, which has a lot more space, has a lot more technical abilities, but because were not number 1,
a lot of more room for activities.
We got bumped down. And you hold a spot for 26 straight months. Like, I didn't expect to lose it. And we got beat. And my point is, this month, every time somebody bangs, not somebody,
like the Bloodline and Roman Reigns. We were on such a high.
I'm not losing again. So every time, if you guys want to turn any show into a shit show, and any show to a shit show is if somebody bangs, anybody bangs, 5 bangs. 5 bangs is you letting me know that it's going to be a shit show. What? What do you got?
Just people in the chat. T Nipple says, T Nipple in the chat, who's oiling up first?
What does that mean?
And then Live Oak says, I took it personal when my wife got someone else.
So if you guys bang 5 times on a show, any time in the month of July we go live, shit show.
Oh my God.
Lock it in, shit show. Yep.
Oh,
we should
hilarious.
get a shit show flag from Can't Get Right. You're not wrong. Let's just find we just hold it or just wear it? It's like a shit show chain.
We can do this.
What if we get a chain that's just a shit? Like a shit chain. And if I'm wearing that chain, it's a shit show. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. I'm not going to lie.
It's on Amazon.
The question is, where does it go? When can it get here? When can it get here?
Hold on. Let me see.
Hang on.
Ships in 3 to 4 days.
All right. Chuggs and I think we found something. I say we get it. It's also kind of like Raider. It's kind of Raider. It reminds me, I don't want to give it away. I'll tell you what. Chuggs and I, mainly Chuggs, he's going to get something here. Legendary. Pretty freaking legendary, man. All right, I got to put on another jersey. We also have a 50-50 raffle. If anybody wants in, 10 to get in. Right now, you'd win $50. And if you send me 10, all I ask is you send me your email. That way I can put you in our Zoom call.
I'm not saying it. That's funny. $10 to enter in. It's from Aggressive. No. Oh, wow. T. Nipple said, Chuggs and Mitch, y'all should wear togas one day and drink wine instead of beer.
Bro, I'm fucking.
$10 to enter in.
A toga and wine. Yo, we're doing it right now. All right, we're going to do it. We're going to get togas, wine, and we're going to do, instead of tuna clock, it's like...
Toga clock?
No, even better. Grape clock. So hear me out. If I go to pee, okay, every 10 that comes in, I have to feed you a grape. No? I got to feed you a grape. I feel like we're just feeding each other grapes with a toga.
Mitch has done 3 boots on today's show.
Today's been kind of crazy. Yeah. No, I thought the grape idea was cool. Dude, toga party would be wild.
I get where you're coming from with it.
Would you want to be the one feeding the grapes or eating the grapes? You want to be the one eating the grapes?
Eating it.
Yeah. All right.
If y'all want it, we can do that.
All right, we got a mailbag. This is...
Oh, yeah. If you want to get your questions in,
We got a mailbag.
hashtag Raiders or Super Chat.
I will say our sponsor on this upcoming show is Save a Warrior. It's for a really, really good cause. Really
I promise
good
you.
cause. But
If you bang on today's show, we will put it on in the cut.
yes. Yes.
Unless it says something crazy.
Correct. Yeah, if it's like, let's just be reasonable. Let's be reasonable human beings. If it's an insane comment, I'm not putting it up.
Especially on a show where we're doing Save a Warrior.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. Y'all want to bang? We're going to bang, but at the same time, like, this is for Crash
We're here for
Dog,
Save a
Gunny.
Warrior. This coming in from Ira Jackson. He says, all Diddy Grape Show.
Bang. I'm actually curious if he sends that in. An all Diddy Grape Show bang would be a very interesting bang. I'm not going to lie. Also, we've never had a bang during closing time. We've never had a bang during closing time. When we're singing closing time, nobody's ever banged.
Are you
Ever.
sure?
Positive. Nobody. Ever. All right. Tonight, go back, watch every time we sang closing time. I watched a few. I watched like some legendary shows. To my knowledge, nobody's ever banged during closing time.
I swear during the 24-hour stream.
Bro, closing time? No. I don't think so.
I thought that's why y'all sang it like 4 or 5 times.
I don't remember. If it was during the McDaniels one,
And
then
there's no proof.
That's true. There is no proof. There is no proof.
There's no pudding. So there's no proof in it.
Oh, don't you hate when that happens? That's where zero proof came from. All right. Coming up here on the show, Zon is waving his hand. Or are you saying you did it, Zon? I'm not really sure. All right, coming up here, we got a mailbag. And this is going to be something. I'm telling you that right now.
Here we go.
Zon, this is on you, man. This is on you. Raider Nation, it's mailbag time. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and friendly reminder that this mailbag was filmed on July 1st. Mount Raidermore, the Silver and Black Hills, they've wanted more mailbags. So if you guys could, hit that like button. We're a family here after all. And today's show is presented by LA Crash Dog. We did a show last week for Save a Warrior, and I got to give a credit here to OC Raider. I got to give a credit to LCA and everybody that was able to get this one to happen. So today's show is presented by Save a Warrior, and we lose 22 veterans to suicide every day. So if anybody wants to show love to Gunny, if anybody wants to show love to maybe a veteran in their life, tell them Father Tom sent you and go donate. SaveAWarrior.org/donate. Here at the Raiders Report, we donated $150 last week. So if you want to also help out, don't be afraid to do so. SaveAWarrior.org/donate. Let's go to Raider Wifey. Gilmore makes us the number one defense. Do you believe Aidan O'Connell or Minshew can win a Super Bowl with that D? Remember Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I'll say this. If you have the number one defense in the NFL, you're going to be a really good team. But at the same time, no, I don't think we end up winning a Super Bowl because in today's day and age in the NFL, which is why I'm going to say what I'm going to say, it's just so much different than the NFL back then. You could play a different level of defense. You didn't need the dominant quarterback because, well, the quarterback gets protected a lot more now than what it did back in Dilfer, back in those other days. This team, if you have the number one defense, we will 100% make the playoffs. And if you could buy into the idea of 100% making it into the playoffs, would you do it? Yes or no? Everybody here is saying yes. To me, you signed Stephon Gilmore, and you are already punching your ticket for making the playoffs. Because if you get this guy, you will have the best defense in the NFL. Why would you not do that? Let's go to Arctic. How do you feel about the Raiders being 79 in Madden? I'm okay with it. Like, the NFL is going to sleep on us. We're projected at 6.5 wins. This seems like a 6.5 win project type Madden thing. I also don't play a lot of Madden, and Chuggs gave me the nod of, yeah, that's okay to me. What up, David Frazier? Showing love here on the Raiders Report. David, get a picture. Much love to you, especially a lowercase d, David. You don't want a lowercase d. Butler or Brown for quarterback 3? I don't know who you mean by Butler. Carter Bradley is our other quarterback. I'm guessing that's the mix-up there. Anthony Brown. If I had to pick, I'm going to go with Carter Bradley. And the only reason why that I say that is because of what I value at the quarterback position. So to me, Bradley is going to be able to run a more similar offense to what Aidan and what Gardner can. Anthony Brown is going to be able to run a little bit of a different offense. So if you're looking for a QB that wants to be able to run like a different style of scout team, that's the guy you go with. But also because of Carter Bradley, is his experience with his dad is Gus Bradley, that's the route I'm going to go. Let's go to Smith. Did you see how big Tyree Wilson looked? I'm not going to lie, reading that first sentence and with this right now going on, not good. Next to Max and John Jenkins, thinks that he breaks out. If you're talking about the viral picture, which Chuggs, I sent that to you earlier today on Slack, if you could check that one out. But Tyree Wilson, I mean, when Chuggs and I ran into him back during Super Bowl week, compared to the way that he looks in the picture that y'all are about to see, I'm telling you this right now, he's like much bigger. I actually think he's probably, I said earlier on live, 30 pounds. Don't take anything I say today all that serious. I would say like 10 pounds heavier. Like, he's definitely bulked up, no doubt about it. But, like, he is an athletic freak. He's got an 86-inch wingspan. Crosby's got an 81. He is a massive, massive human being. But the reason why that I'm taking note to this is because, we've kind of been a channel that's been saying we still anticipate that he's going to play defensive tackle. He looks a lot closer like he's going to be playing DT, standing next to John Jenkins, who's a big DT. At defensive end. John, I'm telling you right now, Tyree's a stud, man. Do I think he's going to end up breaking out? Yes. I think Tyree Wilson this season is going to light the NFL world on fire because he's always going to have one-on-ones. If you're an offensive coordinator and you're looking at this Raiders defense, are you going to double team Tyree Wilson? No. You're going to double team Malcolm Koonce before you double team Tyree Wilson. You're going to double team Christian Wilkins. You're going to double team Max Crosby. So at some point, it's going to be Tyree one-on-one. And I think when you look at what he was able to do his senior season at Texas Tech, now he's healthy. He's motivated. He's been working with Max the entire offseason. I'm telling y'all right now, dude's going to do some special things. So, all right, Chuggs, you keep on saying 8 sacks. Chuggs says 8 sacks for Tyree Wilson this season. Is he going to have more or is he going to have less? Let me know down in the comment section. Tyree Wilson, big season, it's expected. I'm definitely hoping for more, but I want to know what y'all have to say. Let's go to Thrash. What up, Thrash? Nobody thought journeyman Rich Gannon to be anything special when he got signed. We all know what happened. Who do you think is more likely to be another Gannon, Aidan or Gardner, and why? I actually would say probably Aidan O'Connell because to me, Gardner Minshew is not going to be that gunslinger. Like, Gardner Minshew, I know exactly what he is. He's a quarterback that you're going out there and you're hoping that he can get you 23, 24 touchdowns and turn the ball over like 10 times for an entire season. He's going to be a gamer. He's going to will your team. Aidan, like, I think I know what Aidan is, but because I haven't seen it as long as what I've seen Gardner, it's the hope. Now, I don't think either of these QBs is winning MVP, but Aidan, to me, if he's just able to just do what, nobody thought Tom Brady was going to be able to do. I'm not sitting up here calling Aidan Tom Brady, but, like, if he's able to be just that methodical as a passer, to me, you have to be able to have it up here to be that good. And to me, Aidan has it up here more than Gardner. Just Gardner's the more athletic quarterback. So to me, Raider fans that are watching in July, those are, old school Oakland Raider fans, Los Angeles Raider fans, hell, probably Raider fans that we slammed some beers back in the J lot and D lot and all the other lots in Oakland. But if you're looking for the latest news, rumors, we do a lot of content here. We go live 4 days a week, even in the month of July. Why? Because I'm a diehard Raider fan like a lot of y'all, and we've built an amazing community here. And I want to show some love to people that were like, you know what? I've watched this show a few times. I'm finally going to hit that subscribe button. New subs. I want to have more subscribers this month than we did last month. I want to have more subscribers this month than I did last July. I'm a competitive person, and this show is how I provide for my family, how Chuggs and I provide for our dogs, our fiancés, our families. My point is, we also look at numbers. So if you appreciate what this show is and you're like, you know what? Those are my guys. Subscribe. It helps us out a lot. So much like sometimes I don't think you guys realize it. Let's go to G-Dubs. Just a random question. What's your biggest Raiders what if about the draft, trades, and free agency? So you're saying like this entire offseason, my biggest what if? So I was talking to Jeremy Fowler the other day, and I asked Fowler, like, tell me something like crazy that him and I talked about when we were at the Super Bowl. And it's funny because it ended up being on ESPN. You can go back and you can look. But Fowler told me that Jaden Daniels has looked like unbelievable. Like, so good that people were talking about RG3. And I know RG3 is a guy that got injured, but RG3 also won Rookie of the Year and was this unbelievable quarterback. And then, like, Fowler ended up going on ESPN and, like, talking about, like, how some scouts and coaches were like, could the Commanders be a lot better because of how good Jaden is? My biggest what if is going to be, like, what if Jaden Daniels turns out to be, like, the best quarterback in the NFL and the Raiders were unwilling to match a certain draft thing when on this channel we were like, I'm all in. I'm all in on Antonio Pierce and Jaden Daniels. We'll see what ends up happening, but that's my biggest what if, man. Also, I see Woj just said Colin Giuseppe has agreed on a 2-way deal with the Suns. Pretty big deal. Pretty huge deal. All right, let's go to the next question. We'll need a reminder, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. Get those questions, comments on the show right now. I got Clay. Lots of talk around Dak Prescott. What are the chances he's the Raiders quarterback next year? Oh, boy. I mean, chances that he's the Raiders quarterback, I don't know, 10%. Like, it's not zero, and anybody that's saying it's zero, it's not true. I will still say that there's a better chance that Aidan O'Connell is the Raiders starting quarterback next season. However, though, if the Raiders make the playoffs with Gardner Minshew, he's the Raiders quarterback next season. If the Raiders make the playoffs with Aidan O'Connell next season, he's the Raiders quarterback next season. If the Raiders miss the playoffs this season, and I don't care if Aidan starts, Gardner starts, if they both start, if you miss the playoffs this season and Dak Prescott is available with how good I anticipate this defense to be, potentially number one, you have to consider bringing in Dak. Like, I would rather the Raiders, if they miss the playoffs with both of their quarterbacks and me anticipating how good this defense is going to be, I would rather the Raiders sign Dak Prescott at $60 million a year than you roll it again with Gardner or Aidan. In a perfect world, I don't want to give Dak $60 million, but I don't want to keep on rolling with what we've been doing with mediocre quarterback play. This might hurt your feelings. Dak is light years better than anybody we got. He's light years better than Derek Carr. And if I even hear one person say, oh, I'd rather just pay Derek Carr, you don't know ball. So let's go. Let's pick a quarterback here in 2025. Oh, shit. All right, so are you saying I only have these three options? All right, I only have these three options. These are the only three options you get. You're either getting Gardner Minshew with, it would be $13 million next season. You're getting Aidan O'Connell on a rookie deal, so still cheap, or Dak at $60 million. You get to pick your quarterback in 2025. This isn't going to be a popular choice. I'm picking Dak Prescott at $60 million over these two guys if the Raiders do not make the playoffs this upcoming season. Let's go to James. What's up? How many sacks do you think Kuntz will have this year? The number I'm looking for is 8, and that might be a little bit lower than for a lot of people out there, but it's also because I have a lot more higher expectations for a guy like Tyree Wilson, and to me, the Raiders' defensive line, I'm not even going to necessarily look at, like, singular sacks. Like, I'm going to look at it as a unit. Like, the Raiders last year had 44 sacks, I want to say off the top of my head. I expect them to get 60. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to get 60. And in my mind, Max is going to get 17 of those. Outside of Max Crosby, and I want the Raiders to make sure, like, Max gets his numbers because he deserves to be Defensive Player of the Year. Outside of that, I think that the Raiders are going to be able to beat you in so many different ways where I don't care if Malcolm has 15, because to me, I'd rather have Malcolm have 10, Tyree Wilson have 10, compared to Malcolm having 12 and Tyree has 3. This team's going to be able to beat you in so many different ways. Predicting their sack numbers, I think, is actually a very, very difficult thing. But I'm just hoping he does exactly what he did last year. If Malcolm Kuntz gives us 8 sacks, that's a hell of a freaking season for that young man. If you guys want to be able to help out the Raiders Report, just continuously being able to just spread a message that we did last week, it worked out really, really well, and I want to give a major, major shout-out to the nation. But to me, the Raiders Report is about family. We got a guy, L.A. Crash Dog here. He's one of the OGs here, and he wanted to be able to give out a message to every person that watches this show because Father Tom has done a lot for this channel, and I hope that he does a lot for everybody that also watches back home. I want to bring attention to Save a Warrior. These are L.A. Crash Dog's words, not mine. L.A. Crash Dog is an ambassador for Save a Warrior, where we help military veterans and first responders struggling with PTSD and suicide. Save a Warrior doesn't charge them anything to attend, so that means Save a Warrior relies solely on donations to get the veterans and first responders through the program. And they are not a big organization like Wounded Warrior, so they need all the help that we can give. Although they're not as big, they are having much more success with a 99.5% success rate since 2012. However, we lose 22 veterans to suicide every day, so the need is urgent. So I am asking the nation to give whatever you can to Save a Warrior at saveawarrior.org/donate. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Raider Nation, and thank you to OC Raider and LCA, and God bless. Now, I want to be able to show you all Gunny, right? Like, because again, sometimes, you see names up in the chat. You guys see my face. This is why I want y'all's face. This is Gunny here, and he's the one that's like, I really want you guys to go to Save a Warrior. But then I'm also like, we're a family. Are we a family? Not. And this is a Raider family here, LA Crash Dog. So the fact that we're able to help him create a platform, we do a lot of crazy shit on the show. There's no doubt about it. Mondays Live is the absolute proof to that. But we do the crazy shit that we do because that's what families do to me. At least that's what my family did. So, yes, we're able to go crazy, but then I also want to know, like, who's going to step up, who's here going to help out LA Crash Dog. SaveAWarrior.org/donate. Tell them Father Tom sent you. All these links are going to be available to y'all down in the comments and down in the description. And if you're somebody that watches this show that you're like, I was inspired by LA Crash Dog, shout out to Taino Raider. He messaged me over the weekend and was like, he sent me some pictures of him and just sent him how much he appreciated the show. If you're in that same chair, right, like Nico Laz, veteran, if you're in that same chair and you're like, I appreciated that, send me some photos, send me some stuff that just proves that we're doing the right things here. Gunny would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. SaveAWarrior.org/donate. Let's go to Miller Marley. Yo, since we got the Jimmy G money, what have we done with that money, and can you recap it? When will the Raiders finalize their cap spacer money? You ready? There you go. That was it. Did you catch that? If you blinked, you might have paused the video. I'll do it again. All right, there we go. The thing is this. I know that Raider fans, me included, and I'm probably at fault for this, where I'm like a lot of y'all, I just want them to do something, where I don't want a dead period. I don't want there to be ever a time where I'm like, what the hell are we going to talk about today? But at the same time, for the Raiders, they wanted to be able to evaluate their young talent during training or during minicamp, during OTAs. And if they were going to do a move, which, you know, we've kind of said before, it's probably going to be before training camp. Like, because that's when a veteran's going to sign. And at this point, it's mainly veterans. So I think what they're doing is they're taking it slow. They're evaluating, do we want to give contract extensions? Do we want to be able to go out and sign some free agents? Do we want to be able to, I don't know, renegotiate a few contracts? There's no real rush. They still have 2 weeks to do it. But I kind of anticipated the way that Marcus Peters' deal went down last year, where it just led really, really close right up to the training camp deadline. Let's go to Sailor. Should the Raiders look at Justin Simmons or Quandre Diggs? I mean, Simmons is just clearly the better player. So if you're going to go out and look for a safety, like if you're not confident in Trevon Merrick or Marcus Epps, then you just go get the best guy, and that's Simmons. Diggs, to me, you're definitely going to get at a much cheaper rate. And if the Raiders want like a true like box safety, then you could consider it. But like, to me, the only way that the Raiders consider this is if they're not confident in Jacorian Bennett, you're not confident in Brandon Faison, and you're like, you know what? We have two good corners and Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs. We just need another guy out there next to Trevon Merrick and next to Marcus Epps, and we can confuse some people. Look for their Jabril Peppers. James, saw an article had Devontae Adams ranked as the 6th best wide receiver in the NFL. Where do you rank him? It's actually funny. Chuggs and I were actually talking about this today. Me personally, I rank him at number 3. And I rank him at number 3 because you got Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and then it's Devontae Adams. I'm not going to fault. I think Devontae is better than Jamar Chase. That's just me. But the reason why I can understand people not giving Devontae his flowers is because of the year that he had statistically last season. And people don't look at the fact that, you know, the year before that, he had 1,500 yards, 4 touchdowns. Last season, Devontae had over 100 catches, almost 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns with Jimmy Garoppolo, Brian Hoyer, and Aidan O'Connell. And far too often, people just look at the statistics where if you're going to rank him at 6th, cool. I hope Devontae sees it again. This offseason for me, bulletin board material. Put it on the bulletin board because he's not the 6th best. Crash Dog, I'm up. What a perfect time for me to jump on. My Raider fam is the best. Thank you all. Shout out to Gunny and good morning. Justin, what are the top 3 worst injuries you have ever seen in the NFL? Oh, man. To be honest with you, there's so many injuries that if you're saying, like, I've seen, like, honestly, like, watching live, the DeMar Hamlin one scared the hell out of me. The Tua injury, I heard that would be another one. To me, they were all head injuries. Like, and don't get me wrong, you see some, I will say this, not in the NFL. I went to a Lafayette football game. My cousin, that's where he played. And I saw some kid's leg. I was right there, completely twist. To me, I can still remember the sound it made, and that was one of the most horrific injuries I've ever seen. It was on turf. Let's go to Linked Out. If AOC has the edge right now, when would Minshew get his edge? I'm going to say, to me, Minshew's a gamer. You know what I mean? Like, Minshew's going to be one of those quarterbacks where he might not get his edge in practice. And there's just certain guys like that. Like, I played college baseball. We had one guy, our closer. He was the worst pitcher I've ever seen in practice. He'd go out there, and he's going to shut it down. He still owns, like, our ERA record in college. He was a gamer. To me, like, that's what Minshew is. Minshew's a gamer where he might not look great in practice, but when it comes down to the game, he's just going to be better. And I don't know if Minshew is ever going to get that edge. I mean, again, like, right now it's Aidan's job to lose, and I still think that he does have that slight edge, but I'm hoping during, I guess, the preseason is when Minshew turns it on. It's like, all right, that guy's clearly better. Let's go to Free Fly. This is my second off-season watching the Raiders Report. Not only are you guys informing and educating fans, but you also make the off-season move faster. I appreciate that a lot, Free Fly. You know, you're always on Noti Gang, Twitter, especially you were Retweet Gang King. But, like, I think when you see people in the off-season and you see them return again, that's a really cool feeling for something that like what Chuggs and I do, because it's easy to watch the Raiders report during Raiders season. Like, let's be honest, it's easy for me to do my job during the season. But when you're watching in July, it's a different level. And I hope that we do a lot of stupid stuff. We do a lot of shenanigans. Hell, I guarantee when I walk home today, my dad's going to call me like, you got to relax a little bit sometimes. It's Monday. But you know what? Like, this show honestly is designed for y'all to be able to take your mind off of whatever the hell's going on and ultimately to, have a little bit of fun here on the Raiders Report. I need a button. I need a button where I can also push a graphic.
I don't know if you'd be able to handle it.
I'm telling you what. I wish you guys knew what he was doing. I really do.
What's the best food on a stick?
Best food on a stick?
Food or dessert?
Boy. Cake pops do hit.
That's a good one. I wasn't even thinking cake pops.
Cake pops do hit.
First thing I thought on my mind,
shrimp
skewers.
Shrimp on a bobby. I'll say, like, to me, good shrimp with, like, you get a few peppers on there, a pineapple. I've had grilled avocado before with a shrimp skewer.
On a stick, yeah.
Very good.
I was also thinking, like, a really good, like creamsicle popsicle or something, or like a popsicle or like ice cream on a stick.
Yeah. I actually don't like ice cream on a stick. It's a bad take by me. But so my
s'mores, does s'mores count?
On a stick? Yeah.
Because you got to cook it on the stick.
Yeah. What about Jose Jalapeno?
Oh, a good corn dog? Like a state fair corn
I don't
dog?
like corn dog, so I'm out on that one.
Aw.
So my teeth are so sensitive, and this is going to be a weird thing. Cardboard, and sometimes like wooden popsicles. Like, like some people, they get chills from scratching chalkboards. I actually struggle touching cardboard. It's like, it feels weird to me. It gives me the chills. So because when I eat a popsicle, my teeth are sensitive. When my teeth hit that popsicle, it gives, I don't know, I don't like it. No?
Yakitori.
Fried alligator on a kebab?
Husker, the name of the restaurant that we went to in Vegas was Joel's Chop House.
Yep.
Kebab.
On a bobby.
Not as good as Khabib.
Some might say. I see we got David.
I'll always go back to my breakfast corn dog, too.
In.
Breakfast sausage surrounded in pancake. Oh.
Where'd you get that again?
I used to get it in school all the time, like growing up. Like if I came to school early enough where they were still serving breakfast, it used to be like $1 or like $2 for like a breakfast corn dog.
Yeah. Go
in there, just grab one real quick. Bro, so good. I remember there was this one time, there was a guy who, how do I put it? He was a little bit on like the weirder side.
Okay.
Like somebody who, you know in high school, like there was always those guys who would like run around and be like, they just be weird people, right? It's
sure.
weird.
That's life, man.
Dude, he would get the breakfast corn dogs in the morning, and he's just somebody who was like, we would always like mess with because he'd always like have like crazy reactions and stuff like this. But in the mornings, he would get a breakfast corn dog, and I kid you not, eat it in one bite. He would put it in and pull out the stick. And he would just...
On a Monday.
Dude, I'd walk in.
What are we in right now?
We started school at 7:30 in the morning. I'd walk in at 7:20 to see a dude deep-throating a breakfast corn dog.
How old are you?
This is like high school, like 15, 16. I just walk in and see a dude.
That noise, can somebody clip that for me?
Dude.
Can somebody clip just that 2 seconds?
It was the funniest shit ever. And this same dude, he would always like freak out, always had like crazy reactions. He was in my AV class, and we had Bluetooth mouses, and they were all connected to our own computers and stuff.
I have no idea where the story's going.
So sometimes during the middle of class, without him noticing, we would connect somebody else's mouse to his computer, and he'd just start moving shit around. And he would freak the fuck out. He'd be like, "What's going on? What's going on with my computer?"
Dude, that's mean, but that's funny.
Like we would never
gotta figure out how to
we
do
would
that
never
here.
erase any of his stuff, or we would never do anything. But we would just like
I would see the only thing I ever like did to people in high school that I thought was hilarious was I learned like the screenshot. So you just close out of everything on their computer, you take a screenshot, and then you just leave that up. So they think it's their desktop, and they can't freaking do anything on it, and they're just like, nobody has any idea how the computer's not working.
Oh, dude.
But it's just a screenshot.
One time, one of my buddies in 8th grade, we had a sub, and this was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a classroom. But the sub walks out into the hallway to like make sure everybody else was like in the classroom. It was like we had periods in junior high.
Okay.
So it was like third period, whatever. Came in, he put tape on the bottom of the sub's mouse for the computer. So she turns on the projector, and she's just like circling. She's just circling. She doesn't know why. Nothing's popping up. She turns it off, turns it on. It's like showing the light and stuff. She goes and changes the batteries. Like 10 minutes of her like,
this is brutal.
What is going? She is struggling, and it's like a 60-year-old sub. So she's already not good with technology, and she is. You can see she's getting pissed. She's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Oh, dude. I can remember this one kid in my class, and, there's some people that can do a lazy eye okay. My one buddy, acquaintance, I'll call him in high school, class clown, he had the greatest lazy eye I've ever seen, to a point where it was like, does he actually have a lazy eye? And he would do that anytime a sub teacher would come in.
Do what?
He would just be able to sit there for 45 minutes with his eyes. And I mean, he was like the guy who liked the Oreo like pizza from Mr. Deeds. It was unbelievable.
So, Rebel, I'm going to need another chat, either a hashtag Raiders or super chat, explaining this. Because you said, I'm in and out. I'm in and out of the stream enjoying the Golden Gate Bridge before my court case tomorrow at Red Bluff.
When you say you're getting a Golden Gate Bridge, what does that mean?
I think he said he's at the Golden Gate Bridge.
All right. You know what? We do have a few super chats to continue to go through. What up, cruising?
But Rebel, I'm gonna need some backstory on this one, Rebel.
I'm in and out. Yeah. Oh.
I'm in and out of the stream, enjoying the Golden Gate Bridge before my court case tomorrow. Rebel, what's up? Cruising.
Shout out to Gunny. I'm a vet too. I'll send you my picture of my deployment, and you can show it. What do you think of Matt Milon from the Bills? Can we? I mean, Milon, to me, is probably the top linebacker. Milano is probably the top guy in the free agent market right now. But to me, the Raiders are so confident in what they have in Robert Spillane, and I think the Raiders are going to run a lot of like two linebacker sets where they like Devine, they like Luke Masterson, they like Tommy Eichenberg. So because of that, I don't think that they actually add another linebacker. Like, I know when we show the depth chart graphic, it shows three linebackers. Your middle linebacker and then your two outside linebackers. But I think predominantly they're going to run a lot of two linebacker sets. So they think they have enough depth. Let's go to Raiders. Fans since '94 can't wait for the new season. Yeah, every single year we get to a certain point, and we're starting to get to that point in the offseason. I think that's why today's show was as crazy as it was, where we just want to be excited about something. And it's been so slow that, we have those normal feelings of, I want some excitement. So shout out today to all the Mount Raider more. Shout out to a bunch of the real ones in today's show that made today unbelievable. I mean, today was wild, man. Today was a wild, wild day. No doubt about it. $10 to get in, 50-50 raffle. I don't know if we owe anything else. I don't think we owe anything else. Deals are deals today as far as I'm concerned for Friday happy hour. Patrick! Bye! Let's add it to the list. Add it to the list. Seems like the right week to start with a bang. Our July bang race right now, which Ira Zahn and Lord Cameron Abbott, they're all in first place with 5. Just so everyone knows.
How do we owe 2 more boots?
Who said that?
He's done 3. And if we're going old school Raiders Report rules, we only did a boot every time we hit $1,000.
That's true. That's true. So we would be 300 away.
From a third boot, which you've already done your third boot.
That's true. You know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
The only rule that we said today was Mitch said if he has your jersey on and you send in a bang, then he'll do a boot.
Yeah.
But since we had so many crazy ones, he did 3 boots.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Today's been a whirlwind, man. Azul said 5 boots, take it or leave it. we got Robert who keeps tally. We need a negotiator.
Can you release Hawk Tua on that for them?
Hawk Tua. You see she met Shaq?
Yeah.
I think that takes 2 Hawk Tuas. Probably.
And no, Ed Robbins, at the beginning of the show, Mitch said if we get 5 bangs, then we'll start making this into a shit show.
Correct. So the first 5, that's you guys to get it to the shit show.
Yeah, he didn't say every 5 was a boot.
I think I said every time somebody hits the gong, it would be a boot. That might have been what I said. Because we have 3 people that hit the gong today. That was Zahn, LCA, and Ira Jackson. I mean, I'll tell you this right now.
Y'all don't realize these boots mess you up, man.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you right now, it was funny because I was talking to Mount Raidermore on Friday, and y'all crazy mother effers too were saying the same thing. It's so much easier to just do a beer bong and then you wait 10, 15 minutes, do another one. If you did that, that's so much easier than doing one boot. Dude, it's.
I was messaging with John Scheffler, and he said I did a boot. I had to stop a couple times. Y'all are crazy MFers.
Gilbert, you in?
After
Long in.
After your 3rd or 4th boot, you also are so just full of just liquid. It's not even the alcohol at that point. It's just
I got
liquid.
I got a deal. We are 3 bangs away, okay? Zahn, you started this shit show. If we get 3 more bangs and if Zahn says yes, I will boot race Zahn for my final boot today. Zahn, I'm going to FaceTime you. I'm going to give the phone to Jeremy, and you're going to boot race me. Zahn. Oh, God, he said bet way too quick. That was way too quick.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Honestly, I would do a boot today, but I'm going to play basketball here in 2 or 3 hours.
And I'm not.
And I don't feel like throwing up today.
That's actually hilarious.
And full transparency, at the start of the show, we had no plans of drinking today on the show.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. Yoda Jenkins! Bang! We need 2 more!
Ira Jackson! Bang!
Oh, man. That gives us, just so y'all know, Ira, new MVP.
Oh, I got to take this off.
Ira, new MVP for the month of July. Zahn, here's what's going to happen. If it happens, I'm going to run to go take a pee. I got to pee before I do this boot. There's no way it's going down. Got to make some room, and then we're gonna do this. I'll just give you my phone, and then you can call him. Oh, man. Is it gonna? Oh!
Killer
Cruising!
Bang! All right.
All right. Let me go take a leak. I gotta make some room.
Oh my God. It's Monday. It's Monday, as Mitch said. Spam cruising. He said, I'll finish it. David, stick around. We're going to call you here in just a moment. Mr. Zahn, which actually I think I can. Rebel, but why are you in court? Let me see if I can get Zahn on here. All right, here we go. Calling Zahn right now. Hello to you.
I wasn't expecting this. Now I gotta go pour a boot. I've been drinking with you guys the whole time. Now I'm blowing chunks off the balcony.
That's gonna be awesome.
Chuggs, you owe me, bro. I'm taking your missile.
Mitch owes you. I didn't promise anything.
No, you said I would do it.
I never said that.
Basketball. I don't want to hear shit about your basketball. But Chuggs, I'm gonna do it.
My man Zahn. Zahn.
Let me hang up for a minute. I'm gonna go put a shirt on that reflects our team.
Okay.
I'm gonna pour and get ready. And Chuggs, I just want to say I love you, bro.
I love you, bro. All right, well, David will be back in a second. Yoda says drunk basketball actually makes you shoot more accurately, which is 100% true. I think most NBA players get drunk before games, if you ask me. Actually, Marshawn Lynch, there was that story that he used to take a shot of Henny before every single game. So if Marshawn Lynch is doing it, I mean, come on. Am I right? Am I right? Mr. Zahn, don't forget $10 Venmo to get in on the 50-50 raffle. And if you get in on the raffle, you also get in on the Zoom call this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Tiger Woods did it. Chuggs, at least take a quick shot for the nation. We don't have any fireball. Yeah. We don't have any fireball. I just got off the phone with Zahn. He said, give me a second. He's taking a piss. He's changing his shirt.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. So, had to get rid of some liquid.
The trig?
Making It Media was in there. And they were like, bro, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm good. It's Monday. David Zahn wants his battle. But you know what, Zahn? Not only am I going to beat you right now.
Pause.
Yep. As I'm going like this. Not only.
I'm going to beat you so hard, Zahn.
Dude, Zahn, you're going to take a pounding right now. I even got a David Zahn milkshake to do it. This is not going to be good for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ira, oh my God.
What?
He says, Venthrak, it depends on how big your shot glass is. Mine are usually 4 fingers tall.
What if he's got jack hands?
It's just a normal shot glass.
Holy shit. He's like, normal.
It's 4 fingers.
Ira actually also, if your hand is that big, right? You know that game with like the baseball bat where you get the pick? What happens?
The game just goes on forever. Live Oak says, sounds like my wife. Don't know what that means.
We're either talking about the shot glass
Or the best food on a stick.
or four fingers. I'm not sure. I don't want to know. All right, so
I think you might have won with Cake Pop.
Cake Pop. We're still on that. Wow. Let's do this race. We got it. Let's do the duck race here, and then it's on. When you're ready, you can either Zon, you can either just FaceTime me. Just call me. Instead of doing it on IG, just FaceTime me. Let me look at Venmo. But Zon, do it after the duck race. And then to Mount Raider more that's watching, when I get off of work today, I'll give you guys a call when I get home. Eric F., you are in. So, Chuggs, as it stands right now, I'm going to send it to TV.
Wait. What?
What?
I have a quick question.
All right,
for
Patrick
you.
B. and Patrick B. again.
You said you're sending it into.
I just sent it to TV. So we got 20 people that are in, $10 Venmo. You have a chance to win $100. Got a chance to win $100. $10 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. You got a chance to win $100. Oh boy. Zon, you're so effed. That burp brought me back to life. Zon, question is, are you going to go with 3 Bud Lights as well? That's the real question. I know you got probably stacks of them. He's like, David Zahn's favorite beer. If you ever see him out in public, make sure you get him a Bud Light. It's his favorite beer.
Facts.
That's all he drinks.
You can't stop him from drinking what he calls it, a Buddy Light.
A Buddy Light. He does like a straw, if you can. Sometimes 2, like the little coffee straws. Or for some people, it's like 4 fingers. You just get him like 2 of those little coffee straws. It's his favorite.
You said you sent it to TV?
Yep.
All right.
I got to add a few more people. Can you give me another one for Blaine Craig? And then can you give me another one for Salvador Lucas? So now $10 Venmo for a chance to win $110.
Yes.
Ventrac, I know, man. It's brutal. It's brutal. And if you're watching this show for the first time, this is the YouTube channel that proves that any day can turn into literally anything. Which I actually think that sometimes, like, when I go back and, I don't know, this might be weird, but I go back and I watch our live shows to see what Jeremy and I did well and what we could do better. I've kind of felt like Monday and Tuesday shows have been boring. Like, we save up all this crazy shit for Thursday, Friday. And I get it. Thursday, Friday, we're getting closer to the weekend. Usually the Madden streams. Monday and Tuesday, I'm like, Jeremy and I are a little bit more tired. We know we're not going to get as crazy. And I'm like, we don't get as many questions.
What were the 2 that you said to add again?
I said to add Salvador Lucas and Blaine Craig. And then I also said Patrick B for the other 2, but I texted those 2. But
Salvador Lucas?
Yeah, Salvador Lucas, Blaine Craig. And, that's more on Jeremy and I. It's more on me, if anything. I'm the host. But I'm like, you know what? In the month of July, after losing to Steelers, I'm like, any day can be a shit show. It's just, it's like anything. If I'm going to do this every time we go live this month, think about that. That's insane. That's something I already got to commit to now, where I'm like, I'm not drinking on the weekends. I'm not drinking on Wednesday. I'm not doing anything crazy like that. I got to get my shit together, right? If we're going to do it, it's a group effort, man.
Seeps just tweeted this out. He said, get it together, Darnold.
Yikes.
Didn't he have mono a couple years ago?
I mean, probably. All right. Are we ready for this? All right, so winner's going to go home with $110, right?
I haven't done the math.
Wait. Cameron Abbott, add him.
Okay.
And then put in Zahn for me. I'm paying for Zahn. So winner now gets 120.
Okay.
Winner gets 120.
Any guess on what it is?
For what? The race? I got a mustache, so I'm feeling like a cowboy. Something with horses.
There we go.
Oh, boy. This is... I don't know what's happening right now on my screen. You guys can't see what's going on. See, that'd be another cool button. I'm looking at a glacier. I'll say this. I could not have been more wrong. Could not have been more wrong.
It's a robot race.
This is July 1st. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. 3, 2, 1. Run it. Here we go.
Charles G.
Charles G in the lead. Charles, hate to break it to you.
That actually looks like Ira.
Not a good spot. Who? That looks like Ira. Yikes. Robert Ortiz is like, honestly, that's exactly me. I don't know who's
Your
really
dad's
happy
kind
up
of looks
there.
like him.
My dad? His arms move like that, actually. Patrick B, here's the thing you guys don't know, has one ball. That's it. Anthony Marigil's a hell of a dancer. Salvador Lucas is a lot of air humping by Salvador Lucas. In fact, that's too much, dude. Somebody, Anthony G, relax, bro. There's people watching. Zahn's just casually out for a Sunday stroll. He doesn't have any pants on. I mean, I have no idea. Is this going to be a Patrick B race? Robert Ortiz showing off a little bit. And everyone just went to sleep. That's it. Unbelievable. Robert Ortiz, you know what? This is the proof. If you're not first, you're last. Congratulations to Robert. I don't know how many races he's gotten in. All right, here we go. Robert's a first-time winner. The first time that he entered a race was April 8th. 1, 2, that was during free agency. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On his 7th race, Robert Ortiz. Congrats, man. $120. Robert, if you're watching still, hopefully you are. I know you sent that in a few hours ago. If you could please confirm with everybody down below that you just received $120, that's freaking sick, man. And seriously, thank you for not giving up. Like, I know you lose something and you're probably sometimes maybe close to winning, but not giving up on it. Like, I do want people to know, anybody that wins one of these duck races, we're sending you the money, and it's kind of a cool thing. Like, Zahn never won a duck race ever, and then we did a March Madness thing. Dude wins $1,600. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, do we have Zahn yet, or is he checking out?
I have Zahn.
He's checking out?
No, I have him.
All right, who you got? If you're going to go with me, type M. If you're going to go with Zahn, type Z.
Fuck you, Jeremy. I love you.
You're on.
He don't even know.
Shame on you, Jeremy. I apologize for the verbiage.
Well, don't just watch your F words, all right? Watch your F words.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening?
He's got his Raiders Report shirt on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah! Yeah!
Dude, look at that forearm strength. Oh, my Lord. That man has got some forearm strength.
Oh, my God.
You ready? You're lit.
Show everybody what they paid for.
Hey, there you go. If you lose, you got to shave your beard, rock a mustache.
I am not rocking nothing. I'm not looking like shaved nuts on my face.
Dude, this is not good.
This is a real Raiders report. Look. You see all these names, all these people that put in for it?
Hey, Zahn, I don't want to be weird with you right now, but
What am I doing?
do you want to bang with me for a second?
Don't you threaten me with a good time sexy.
OC Raider just did it.
Oh! See! Raider! Bang! Let's go!
Huh?
I just scared the shit out of my neighbors.
He said he just scared the shit out of his neighbors.
I mean, drunk white guy yelling bang on his porch is probably a good threat.
Alright, they're
Yeah, well, not again. So here's the issue.
Hey, you were not supposed to tell people about that, you son of a bitch.
Here's the issue. I need help. Because we owe another boot.
The only help you can take is either Chuggs or Marsh. I will expect no one else for the race. You can sub out Chuggs or Marsh. That's it.
Bro. There's no way.
There's no way you can put a girl when her name is Feet, and I'm going to be able to drink next to her. That's wrong. By the way, she's a
I'm saying because
Whoa.
I got the OC jersey on, I owe a boot.
You owe another boot?
Dude, there's no way, man. There's no
Go
way.
get Marsh. He likes Chewies. He'll drink out of anything.
He can't do a boot.
Oh.
He can't and Chuggs can't.
I'll get him to do a boot. I will question his manhood. He will do it.
You can't. I'm telling you. He won't do it. He's like his body like physically can't do it.
Sam doesn't have a life.
Sam doesn't have a life. So, okay, let's just do this boot race and then we'll figure it out after.
How about that?
Also, how about the three of us do it, Chuggs? I mean, you and we all know who's going to win if you're in it, Chuggs.
But no, I need him to hold the phone. I don't have so NBA free agency is going on. So like we don't have as many people that are like free like we usually do.
You can't tell me there's another show in chat sports that's pulling down what our show's pulling down tonight. Pull somebody. I don't want to hear it.
All right.
All right.
Y'all two go first and then we'll figure it out after, all right?
I'm still waiting for the fuzzies to go down, and I'm about ready.
All right, we're going down. You and me. This is a you and me race.
All right.
I need
You
a
and me. You can put the other one off till next week or next whatever the next day is.
tomorrow. Is actually the next day. In
Done
fact.
for the week. This was my fun time.
You ready?
Zon, you crazy MFer. You ready?
I can't see Mitch. Yeah, you ready, sexy?
All right.
You and your fucking porn star Jerry mustache.
All right, who you got? Get the M's for Mitch. Get the Z's for Zon. You ready?
Call it.
Chuggs, it's on you.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, wow. All I hear is just all throat from the two of you. Oh, Zon! Oh, I thought he was done. A lot of throat work with Zon. He's done. Dude, Zon.
Oh my God.
You are one crazy MFer, man.
I'm just gonna say, I was still half your time, bro. You are the undisputed throat goat champion.
Hey, nothing I want more. Nothing that makes my mom prouder whenever I go home and tell her that I'm the throat goat. Can we?
Here's the respect I got for you and for Mitch. I don't know if I can do more after one, because after one, donezo.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do
Well, that.
another one, let alone three, and what Mitch just did four.
I think that was just.
I would have puked on the floor.
Mitch is breathing kind of hard.
Yeah.
Well, I have that effect on men, but that's okay.
Can we get everybody to spam David Zahn, Raiders Report legend, Mount Raidermore, the godfather of the Raiders Report? Spam it!
Ron.
You're one of the godfathers.
Ron is the godfather. I'm just a placeholder.
He's the stepdaddy.
There you go. I'll take a step down.
He's the Hey, he's not the stepdad. He's the dad who stepped up. David Zahn.
Nah, man. Zon,
Salute everybody.
it's all love to Zon, man. He's donated more
Wait. Ready?
than anybody.
2, 3. Raiders.
Raiders.
Let's go. Hey,
I
love
didn't
you,
know
Zon.
what we were saying. I didn't know if we were going to say Raider Ron, OC Raider, Raiders in general.
Believe it or not, Ron is a little messed up right now.
Raider Ron?
No, I mean Zon.
Oh. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Today was kind of nuts.
So Zon did say, because you've gone so crazy and he did a boot race with you, if you start off tomorrow's show with the boot, he'll allow it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't think there's... So, I mean, I got to start tomorrow. You got a boot in you?
He's like, I opened the wrong effing door.
I was going to say, I left your noozles back on your desk and put it back right down.
All right. All right, here's my deal tomorrow, okay?
Well, either a boot or...
Now, here's my deal.
How about this?
I have a deal.
Sam, will you eat 4 beans at the same time?
Oh, fuck no. That
All right,
know.
I have a deal.
I'm going to throw up in this room if I do.
I have a
Have
deal.
you tried them?
Yes, I'm going to throw up in this room.
No,
What's
if I do.
what's the
bean
worst one
boozles
you
are
tried?
horrendous.
Jimmy, it doesn't.
I would
I'm
rather
going to-
do a
you put
boot
4 of
right
those
now than eat. If I had one of those beans,
I eat 4 of those at once.
I am
will
immediately
throw up
projectile vomiting.
in this room. Maybe on you.
You would have to send in. You would literally have to send in a $500 Venmo to eat one of those beans.
Right
Not-
now?
Bro, I think I would projectile vomit. I'm not even kidding you. They're horrendous. People don't even realize how bad they are. They are horrendous. All
They're
right,
so bad.
all right, so here's my deal. Tomorrow, okay? I said at any point you guys are ready to turn it into a shit show. Instead of me owing a boot to start the show, my deal tomorrow is if we hit 500, okay? If we hit 500, I'm going to do 2 boots. And then that gets the shit show started. That's a bad deal. All right, new deal. If once we hit 1,000 tomorrow, 2 boots. Dude, 5, that's 2 boots. That's a disaster.
It's up to you, buddy.
That's bad, dude. All right. Well, no, because when we hit 500 today, we didn't start drinking. So it would be 500 tomorrow as the first boot. Or if we hit 1,000, I'll do 2. So I'll ask you guys tomorrow. Once we hit 500 tomorrow, I'll do a boot. And I'll ask you, what do you want? And if you say 2 boots back to back,
David said, I shall now be known as David Renz.
dude, I am hurting.
Oh,
All right, my
God.
deal tomorrow is I'm going to do 2 boots. If you don't like it, suck it. I'm going to do 2 boots tomorrow once we hit 1,000 back to back. So today I did 2 under 60 seconds. Tomorrow I got to do 2 under 50 seconds. But that's if we hit 1,000, 2 boots.
And we'll have 2 boots for you.
Yeah, we'll just pour it up because it took way too long to pour.
Yeah.
All right, we did this today because, again, Zon, crazy people.
Just bang tomorrow. You can get pregnant from pre-bang.
That's hilarious. Are we leaving? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Raider Sport.
Later, guys.